Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Late Night Serial Podcast, the show
Evening.
all about the retro gaming, the nostalgia, and the splash of milk. Now, we always say splash of milk because we always kickstart this podcast with eating cereal while talking about cereal as well. What have you got today, Plunger?
Well, see if you can guess it. What do you reckon that is?
I reckon it looks like cornflakes, but it's probably Frosties, maybe?
Yeah.
Is it Frosties? Oh, I haven't had Frosties for so long.
Do you know what? I thought, because it was one of my favourite cereals, I thought I used to have it quite a lot. I haven't had this in a few years, I think.
Yeah.
And I remember sometimes when we didn't have much milk, because my parents used to moan at me all the time for having all the milk in the house for cereal, I used to just eat it like dry. And I used to eat like a snack, like crisps sort of thing.
I'll be honest, I was so tempted today because I'd run out of milk and I had to go and get milk before the podcast. And I was thinking, I could eat it dry. I'm a dry cereal guy. I can do it. I just have a bowl of it. But I was thinking, would you think that was weird? But one week I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, that's right. Look, unless we start having a coughing fit because it's really dry in the mouth.
Yeah. It's just like really crunchy then. So guess what mine is?
Right, what's your one? It looks like honey nut loops, is it? With the little bee? No, it looks like it.
No, name another loop cereal.
Oh.
There's quite a few of them.
Off-brand? Like, is it like...
on-brand, it's a brand. It's Nestle.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah, it's Nestle.
I don't know.
What else do they make? Another name for
Cheerios.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
It's so weird, right? Because I really like these, but like they seem like because I got the little mini packs. Little mini packs, and these seem to be like mini Cheerios or something because they look tiny. And I don't know if because I haven't had them for a while, but I was like, wait a minute, have they always been that small, or is it one of those things that I've grown? You know what I mean? And then Cheerios just got smaller. Yeah,
but then they might have had a cereal tax. Who knows? They did that with Wagon Wheels. I know it's not cereal related, but I know I used to think Wagon Wheels were massive, and they're like half the size.
Is that us, or is that because Wagon Wheels have actually shrunk?
No, they actually have shrunk. I thought it was just us. Well, it's probably a bit of both, but I think it's a lot more of that. But yeah, I haven't had. I literally we got this pack in the weekend, and I haven't had these in literally years. Apparently, it says serves 15 bowls. Not the man I have in a bowl of cereal.
I've been trying to be good lately. Well, I've actually stopped being good because I was having like the 30 grams. Oh no, this is 40 grams because it's a little bowl, a little box, and there's loads in it.
That was like Daddy's been helping me out with portioning out cereal, and she puts like little scales, and she used to work out for me when I had cereal in the morning. And when she said, "Oh, it's so much," and when you hear the number of it, I can't remember the amount. You think, "Oh, really? Is that it?" But then once you put it in the bowl and you add a bit of milk, and not overflow, obviously, it's a lot more than you think it is. I used to have stuff so much that as I'm walking back to the table, bits fall off. I used to have that much.
So are you the kind of person who eats cereal where we have loads of milk and then waste the milk afterwards? Because that's what I normally do. I've got better at it now, but I used to have probably too much milk.
I did overdo it with the milk, and I did used to waste it until my parents kept telling me off for wasting the milk. So I did sort of enjoy the milk afterwards. I used to get the old bowl and just like
do that, especially if it's Cocoa Pops or Frosties because it's basically sugary milk at that point.
Yeah, these are really sugary. I haven't had them for a while, but they're really, really sugary.
You said ruggery.
Ruggery? Oh, good. I shouldn't have one cereal. I don't know how much sugar's meant to be in these, but it tastes really sugary.
Does it have the red mark for like the fat content or whatever on the front?
Oh, it does. Sugar, 11 grams?
Yeah.
Is that a lot? That sounds quite a lot.
No one's eating Frosties for a healthy diet, are they? You know what I mean?
I always worry where it says it's got sugar and salt. You think there's salt in it as well? But
what's the recommended bowl size? Is it 30 grams?
Yes, 30.
What's the calories for that?
113.
That's not bad actually. 113 is quite low.
I don't think it's too bad because even if you don't have too much, you only have that in the morning and like a black coffee or tea or something and that too. Because end of the day, really, because we do it wrong. Because really, the whole idea. Well, I don't know if it's marketing or if it's meant to be like this. was to get a cereal to help to wake you up and sort of like instead of having like caffeine, you'd have the salt and sugars and stuff from the cereals to kind of help you go. But I don't know.
No, it's completely changed for us because it's become part of our pop culture appreciation routine, isn't it? Like if you go into any supermarket now, you'll see that they've got like Avengers and Marvel cereal. I don't even know what's in that one. I saw that recently. I was like, I kind of want to get it and kind of try on a podcast, but I have to buy a whole box. Like I've still got the golden nuggets left from the week. I haven't met all them yet.
Oh, Danny said to me, she went, I'm not buying another cereal until you finish the other one. I don't need one bowl, leaving it and buying another. But
I've been thinking that, yeah, but like I love the idea. But I reckon we should get a kind of a scoreboard up and start rating our cereals at some point. So we'll start off with the next one. We'll write down what cereals we've had and we'll start rating them out of 10. It's a good idea, isn't it? I'm not saying we're going to have different cereals every podcast because that would be nuts.
Well, I have kind of got the pressure of thinking, right, because I'm making sure to have different ones. So I've got Cocoa Pops and Frosties out the way because they were my two main ones. Now it's got to just try some other random ones.
Got the other ones on. Yeah, well, you can get the multi-packs. That's a good way to get through a lot of them. I saw Spider-Man cereal in Asda the other day and I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. What would that even be?
Well,
I just walked past it. It was like,
oh, little webs.
Little webs. It's got to be little webs, isn't it? Little webs.
But I bet it ain't. Did you ever try the Back to the Future and Jaws cereal?
They're gone. I wanted to try them and they're gone.
Oh, I
want
got both. I thought it was still going. I guess they finished it now. It's been for a while, I guess.
Yeah.
The Jaws one was really nice, and it was little fish. It might have been sharks, but it was little fish. That was really nice. Back to the Future one, just round chocolate balls.
I like the way with the fish, you didn't even mention what they're made of. You just went, oh, there's a little fish. What is it like? It was
caramel-esque kind of thing.
Caramel? Oh, my word. Don't even try to hide it, are they?
Yeah, I think the thing was, though, because you could tell how much, like, sugar or, like, sweetness is in it. Because when I took the packet out, I had to loosen up the bag a bit because it almost wanted to come out in a bleeding lump. Because it was like, it was so much stuck together. And I was like, this is healthy.
Oh, my God.
But the Back to the Future one, though, they did not try. The box is really nice. It literally looks like, what is it? When Cocoa Pops brought out the round chocolate balls?
Yeah.
One. It literally looks like that. And they sort of taste of nothing.
Oh, like really. The Nesquik balls? Because they're still around.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I had them recently, yeah.
It was all right.
The golden nuggets, they don't taste of anything. But it's all about the texture, isn't it? I think it's a texture thing. The texture's satisfying. It's a good cereal. You know what I mean? Taste is kind of a plus in a way, which is a ridiculous thing to say. But if it's nice and crunchy, it's satisfying.
It does.
Kind of meaningless when you're watching TV or something. You're just like, you like that crunch.
Yeah, and when you do get it is a flavour, you just sort of go, that's nice.
Oh, it's got a flavour. You don't want too much of it. Yeah. It's like, but it's Frosties is mad. I haven't had that for years.
Honestly, when you get some Frosties, oh my God, it's like, I know I said to you about I used to put loads of sugar on my cereal, but that was a long time ago.
You're not going to put that on Frosties, yeah.
And it tastes like I've done that.
To be honest, those Cheerios I've just had then were so sweet. It's incredible. And I've had like Choco Hoops, which is like Aldi's little mini Wheatos, and they're sweet, but those are incredibly sweet. That's why I always say I never have these as breakfast because I want to wake up in the morning, but not for like 10 minutes and then have a sugar crash. I don't mind having a crash at the end of the day because you're going to go to bed. And it's also just a snack, but my word. It's nice though. Enjoyed it. I love cereal.
If you can get a little box of Frosties at some point, you'll be quite surprised, I think. I don't know if they've changed it at all, but...
I've just got a Kellogg's multi-pack, and I can't remember what's in there. I think there's just... I think Cocoa Pops is in there, and the Cocoa Pop discs, or whatever they're called. You know, those ones?
I never tried them.
Yeah, I've got to give them a go. I might have them next time, which will be in September, weirdly enough. Right, so what have you been up to on your stream, by the way? It's been a couple of weeks.
The only problem is because I'm playing same games each week at the moment because I'm doing it on a rotation. I'm not getting through them as quick as if I was playing just that one game. But I will say I had a bit of a struggle with Mega Man X Command when,
oh my God,
like I didn't play. I kind of missed a week, and then I went back to it. So the problem is when you do one game a week, if you do miss a week, you've got 2 weeks you're missing it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're thinking, oh, what was I up to? What was I doing? And then when I started, I was like, right, I've got to do the next mission. They told me all this information. I went, right, okay. So I walked off. I'm down the hallway. I'm literally walking around for an hour going, where am I meant to be going? There's no indicators or anything like that, or a little mini map. After an hour looking around, I ended up having a quick look online, and I found out all I had to do was talk to the same guy I started with, and he said, "Oh, I'll take you there."
So was this a case of because you haven't played it for a while and you forgot where you were up to? Is that what it is?
Well, it was. I finished it at the point of completing that mission, and then you go back to that some commander guy. But he sort of told me what I need to go rescue someone, basically, and it's an operator, like they kind of people that help you out through the games. They kind of introduce him in X and that. But the problem was, it didn't say how I was rescuing. It said where I'm going for them, but because they've made it into a bit of an open world bit where you can go to shops and buy things and talk to other like robots in the area. They tried to make it like a working city. The problem is you don't really know where you're going, and then all I had to do was I was in the command center. All I had to do was talk to him, and then all of a sudden he walks you to the next section, and I was like, oh.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you're coming off from like all the other really kind of linear Mega Man games, and then suddenly confronted with this. It reminds me of Castlevania 2. When I started playing Castlevania 1, it was just about getting through it, and then on 2, I was like, I liked it, but I just felt like I was in a different place, like playing it. It was, there was a lot of back and forth, and there was a lot of talking to people, and I was like, I just want to kill bats. You know what I mean?
That's why I love Symphony of the Night, but I prefer the older games more because I like to start from this end of the map to go to this end.
Exactly. I like the progression of like, oh, I died there. Let's have a quick go. Let's keep going back, and I like that. But I'm obviously a welcome change, but it's like I don't know when there's a lot of to and fro and you're getting lost. Like that Mega Man game sounds like a pain, to be honest.
But once I got in the mission, it's like, okay, I can now get on with it and then learn all the mechanics again. The other one was Tomb Raider again. I know I mentioned it last week, Tomb Raider. I'm still playing Tomb Raider, but I can't remember if I said it last week, but I was struggling with the level.
Yeah, you were stuck because there was a glitch in it. You didn't realise.
Yeah. So I managed to get all the keys before and get through the door. But what I did was I did that on the previous stream before about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I got through to the door, got to the next section, because the way the Saturn works with the memory card, again, I can't remember if I mentioned this last time, on the memory card, you've got to manually go out of the game into the main menu of the action replay and manually copy across a new save file. The problem is it doesn't rename the save files. Like, if you copy a file Windows, it goes brackets 2 or 3.
Does it overwrite it?
It doesn't. It just multiplies it, but doesn't change the names. You don't know which one you've got.
Oh.
So what I was meant to have done was you got system memory and cartridge memory. What I was meant to do was delete the file off the memory card, copy memory, console memory to memory card, then save. That's all I had to do. It was very tired, and I deleted the system one, and then I copied the memory card one. And then I hit. It would have been okay if I didn't hit exit because it doesn't save until you do it. When I pressed exit and it saved, I suddenly went, "Oh, wait a minute! Oh no!" So then I loaded it up again, and I thought, "Please!" And this is like 2:00 in the morning. I just wanted to go to bed, and I was like, I turned it on, and I just saw the beginning of the level.
No! Is it at that point where you realised I should have played the PlayStation version?
Yeah, I thought I'd be all like, "Oh, let's play the original version, see where it all began." Now I know why no one ever knows it came out on the Saturn. So
should have played the N-Gage version or whatever.
Everyone kept saying the N-Gage one looks better. People were saying, apparently, that's not good. But when so then I thought, right, okay, for next stream, because I've done the level, right, I think I earned myself to use a cheat code for level skip. Brilliant, I'll do that. I looked up online, found 2 versions, tried it out, and couldn't get it to work. And I'm thinking, I'm doing something wrong here. And then about the fourth website I came to, because everyone just copies each other's websites. So copy a cheat code and it's literally identical across the board.
Same. Yeah.
This one, however, had in brackets for US and Japanese versions only.
Oh no.
There isn't a level skip on the PAL version. The Core, no, is it Core who made it originally? I can't remember the name now. But anyway, the original people who made Tomb Raider must have
Crystal
hated
Dynamics,
the UK
maybe.
or the PAL region because we had all the bugs, which apparently are fixed in the other versions. You got level skips. So when I started to stream, because I thought, I tell people I've used a level select and I did say it wrong, or if it's quite seamless, I would have kept it quiet and gone, oh look, everyone saw me do next level, and I didn't. So then I had to, play that level again. I felt like I was speed running. I felt like I was trying to speed run the thing, and then I finally did it, saved it again, and I thought, right, while I'm on stream, I'm going to go out and save it now while I'm a bit more like not rushing to get off. So I managed to save it and it's fine this time round.
Are you actually enjoying it? Because it doesn't sound like you are.
Well, it doesn't sound...
You're allowed to say you're not enjoying it.
Well, I'm more excited now. I'm going somewhere new on the levels, but the frame rate, because I'm in a Coliseum area and it's very open and the frame rate, oh dear, the frame rate is dropped so much in the game.
Oh no!
I'm getting through it. And
this is like levels where you've got to like do pixel perfect jumps and things like that.
There is, and there's bits where animals attack you, but there's not much room to maneuver. And every time I kept on trying to jump out the way or dodge left, right, because it had a little bit of the slowdown, I jumped over the side and killed myself about 4 times. Word. And I was like,
I wonder what the PlayStation version's like then. At that point, I would have handled it a lot better.
Well, everyone says it's so much better, but again, I only know that game through nostalgic eyes when I played it. I've not played it since.
Might be the same.
And everyone said to me, you should have played the anniversary edition.
I know.
Yeah, well, I'm not, am I? So
no. You put so many hours into this, you've got to see it through now.
That's it now. Oh no, I'm in it now. Yeah, I'm tough. I've got to stick with
it. What happens.
I made one save file, got there at least. But the problem was I didn't end up playing it for a while because we watched the Nintendo Direct, which we'll come back to later, and then watched Gladiators. And by the time that all finished, it was about 1 o'clock when I started playing the game. So, yeah.
What's happened to you and your channel? I remember when I first came into your channel, you were just sitting there playing the game constantly. And then something happened, and then you just watch TV shows now.
Yeah, Tuesday kind of happened. Just because loads of things were happening on Tuesday and that, and and then Gladiators and all that stuff.
To be honest, though, I watched the entirety of Bad Influence, which was my favourite days of watching all those on your channels, boss. Learned so much.
I want to come back to it.
I think you should. I think like so many people come in now, we weren't there for that, so you could probably do that again. Go through them all. Good old days.
They're kind of like the main two I've been on, really. Everything else, again, Crash Bandicoot, I was just working my way through. And but one quick thing, because I want to move on to your ones, really. But just a quick one on Crash Bandicoot is that I have to do these thing called relics, which is time trials on a level, which at the moment I'm almost like having to speed run levels at the moment, which I've always felt a bit weird with doing it because I'm not into speed running really. I don't feel like I've got the patience. But after doing these relics with these time trials, I'm kind of getting into it a little bit. Actually, it's been quite nice because it seems to improve. And you die and you have to redo it again, but you kind of improve it. There's no way I can do that time. I've got to cut off 10 seconds. That's ridiculous. I do it again and I'll do it in like 5 seconds. I go, okay, I can do it.
I think it's because you're getting rewarded for it. That's what it is.
Isn't it? Big reward
if there was no reward for it, or if you was just because I know people love speedrunning and get on like a scoreboard. I'm not really bothered about that. But if there's something in game, and then you feel like you completed something, and I kind of like that, or if an achievement pops up or something like that, like I can see where I'd be into it. But yeah, I'm the same with speedrunning. I don't think I've got the reflex for it, to be honest. But if it's in the game, like But it was that Crash Bandicoot 2.
3.
Oh no, it's not 3. Yeah, God, you're getting through those as well, aren't you? Wow,
about 75% through, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do the first one next year. I've got to copy the first one. I know that.
Honestly, I know. Again, I think we might have spoken about it before, but honestly, Yeah, play the first game. You haven't got to do 100% stuff or any of that.
No, I got
Play through the
casually.
game. You will enjoy it. It will feel a bit. I can't want to say it's like Mario, but it's
The only
kind of
time
like
can you guess where I've played Crash Bandicoot before? The only time I've played Crash Bandicoot. There's a good example.
When you were testing it.
No,
A demo.
No, it wasn't through Sony. It was somewhere else. I'm gonna give it a big clue. I'll give you a big clue if you can't think of it.
Oh,
A big clue. I want to tell you. Okay, it featured in another game.
oh, wow! What in Uncharted?
Yeah, that's the only time I ever played it.
Really?
I've never played it before. Just never had access to it.
Because that literally is the first level of the game.
Yeah, they showed it down. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was awful at it, but I was like, okay, this is. I've seen it, obviously, in people playing it, but I've just never played it myself. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to play it at some point in my life. So that was like your week or cool week since the last podcast. So for me, oh god, I'm excited to talk about this. Revenge of Shinobi. A game. What a game that is. I've never played, or I've never really been into like ninja games, and not really. Like I've played like Ninja Gaiden, and I was terrible at it. And I want to go back to it.
That's tough though.
It's a really tough game, and I want to come back to it. It's one of those games that I have to beat. You know, one of those ones like some of the toughest games. I thought this was going to be one of those games, and it is, but it's nowhere as tough as that. Nowhere as tough as like Battletoads or something like that. It's just so cool. The music is incredible.
It's a cool game,
of Street of Rage and all that. I was playing off the Mega Games 2 collection, so it felt cool to kind of beat that game on there, because then I've got the other two games I'm going to try and beat. But my word, it's one of those games which I just love, where you die, you keep trying, and then you'll just learn the pattern. Although there's one level which is so unforgiving, where like I only had issues if there was things you can fall down, holes. Because then the enemies at the end at the side on a platform will just knock you off into the hole. Yeah. And there's one level which is just terrible for that. But the rest of it, like if you get killed by an enemy, that's just your fault, because you're supposed to anticipate with them, and that's kind of almost becomes like a rhythm action game in that way. You know, before it's even on the screen, throw your shuriken or whatever. It's not called shuriken, is it? So, is it a kunai or something like that?
Oh yeah, I got told off saying.
Yeah, someone told me. Was it a kunai or something like that? That's the word in my head. Something like that. But anyway, I always go shuriken because that's what we were taught as kids.
We learned that. Death Stars.
Death Stars, Jesus, yeah. So yeah, it's like you anticipate the enemy to come on the screen, like any kind of cool old game like that. But when the stages pop up where like there's like a bottomless pit underneath, I just fell down each and every one of them.
Well, because in your brain you're going, don't fall down the hole, don't fall down the hole, fall down the hole.
And it's like there's one particular jump in the game which is just terrible. It's like you have to be perfect with it. You have to be really perfect with it. And 99% of the time, I would just fall down. But it's one of those ones that you're approaching and you're thinking, I'm not going to make this, and you can't do it. And then when you do it, you're like, oh, great. And then you get killed by the next guy and you go, oh no, I've got to do it all again.
Yeah, the dread of it again.
But I was actually surprised. Like I did use an exploit that someone told me, like to get infinite shurikens. And I was like,
yeah, I heard it.
I did use it. And I was like, to be honest, because I play games like the way I would have played as a kid. If someone would have told me, if all you have to do is highlight the shuriken account in the options, and then after about 5 or 10 seconds it becomes infinite. You're like, oh, that's cool. But I was like, if I was a kid, I would have done that, and that's why I play games. Is like, if someone tells me something like that, I'm doing it. But also, as I always say with these kind of games, like it gives me a reason to come back. So I'll go, I'll come back to this game, and I won't use that. It would be good.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, like there was a level in it as well where you can farm lives. What was it doing to do it? I can't even remember what the thing was now. It was
say you got two lives and you kill.
Oh yeah, there's one stage, an extra life comes up, and it's really easy to get. It just pops up when you shoot a wall. Like, and I did it by accident. I was like, oh, there it is, and you get 2 lives each time. So if you die, you're gonna get 2 more lives each time. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this for ages. So on one of the streams, I just kept doing that, because I could not beat that last boss on the first attempt.
Well, end of the day, I think you would do that as a kid, because I think even the game developers they know it. Why would they give you 2 lives? Is there just 1 there?
I don't think there's anywhere else in the game. I'd be wrong. I didn't find anywhere else where it give you 2 lives instead of 1. There might be somewhere else, but that's the only place I found it. But the first attempt, when I went on the last boss, I could not beat him at all. I just had the worst time. So the next time I thought, I'm going to farm those lives, and I spent like half an hour doing it. and I did the boss in one life, and I was like, I
Yeah,
didn't even die on
I
him.
did hear that.
Didn't even die on him, and I was like, oh my god, why did I do that? Why did I spend all
Well,
that time doing that?
I'll tell you why. Because you felt confident with the amount of lives you've got. If you had one life, and if you died on that boss, and you had to game over and start over that beginning level
Yeah,
again,
I would have been
it'd be
stressed
at the
out.
back of your mind the entire time.
No,
It's
you're
like
right.
having, that's what it is, honestly.
You're
Because you
right.
felt more
Yeah,
relaxed. Because
yeah.
you thought, right, I'll do it. If I die, oh well, I've got
I was probably
50 other
more
lives.
likely to
You
try
know?
things out and be more confident,
Yeah, yeah,
like, and go, "Oh, I'll do
yeah.
this." I'll be a bit looser, where I wouldn't have been as loose. I'm like, "Oh God, I
No.
can't." I would. You are right. I didn't even think about that. It's very true. But yeah, I love that game. I'm definitely going to retain. I've actually been thinking I want to play it again, but I'll
Really?
come back
Yeah.
to it and play in a different way. But I really want to get hold of. I've got Shinobi on the Master System, so I want to play that. And there's
Yes.
a second. I think there's a second Shinobi on the Master System. It's called like like I can't remember what it's called. It's got Shinobi something or Cyber
Right.
Shinobi. I think it's called. I think it's called
Oh,
Cyber
okay.
Shinobi. So
Oh,
I think
yes, yes.
there's
Yeah.
another. So I want to get a copy of that, but I also want to get a copy of Shadow Dancer as well, which I've been looking
I
at
heard
around
good
eBay.
things. That you got a wolf or a dog in that
Yeah,
one,
the
I think.
dog.
And you
I've
send
got
them
that on
out.
the Master System. I don't know if that's worth playing before the Mega Drive one, or if it's just janky. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know how different it is. I'm going to read up. But
Read, I don't actually know. I
yeah,
don't really know, to be honest.
but there is also like Shinobi 3, which you played, and I know.
You will look at it and go, "This looks beautiful. It looks a really good game." But I have to ask you, did you have troubles with doing the double jump on that
Double
one?
jump was the worst thing I've ever used in any game. I don't
Yeah,
understand. I
I
don't.
don't. I
I,
don't get it.
I
Yeah,
don't get it. I really. I mean, anyone who's watching this who's played that game is probably like, "Oh, yeah, double jump's easy." Everyone goes, "Oh, you just hit the jump button at the peak." You
yeah.
never know when the
Try it
peak is.
again now
You're
and
fine
see.
when you're like standing still because you'd always get it. But when you're in
Yeah,
movement and someone's shooting, is firing
yeah,
at you, or something like that, it just goes out the window. And it's like you can do it most of the time, but when it matters, you don't do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when you
And
jump
that's how it
over a
is on that
hole.
one.
And yeah, because I saw you doing that with all the spikes on the latter
Yeah,
levels, and I was like, oh my god! But everyone else who talks about Shinobi 3 loves it, but I don't know if they've beat it.
I don't
Maybe
think
that's
they've.
what it is.
I don't believe
I've
they're
got that
beating
long
it. You know,
because that
it's
last
just.
level seems like it's like taking the mick. You know what I mean? With all the amount of spikes in it.
Well, you got the amount of spikes, getting the timing, remembering which box is a bomb and which one's not.
oh
And I don't know if you did it on the game you played, but on number 3, if you hit a box with a bomb, if you walk like next to the bomb or through the bomb, the timer goes down quicker.
yeah, it's a proximity bomb. So the quick,
Proximity thing, yeah, it's
yeah,
one of those, and that was worse
yeah.
because you couldn't hang around
It's not
because of
random though,
spikes
is
and
it?
it's
Is it
bomb.
random in the third one? Because in the second one, you knew the more times you play it, you knew which one's the
Oh
bombs and
no,
which
no,
one's
no,
not.
they were the same. It's just
That's
nothing to
that's
remember.
I
That was
like
all.
that. I like that. But although there's way more bombs than anything else, which was kind of annoying.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you get to know which ones not to hit. But sometimes you hit them by
yeah.
accident. But it was like there was certain levels, like I think it was like the second or third level where you have to jump up some logs, and I was like, every time I got to that point, I was like, oh, that double jump. We've got to do the double. If you miss, you're gonna fall down. So
Yeah.
those are the bits I was more worried about in the whole game. The bosses were all right. I thought I was gonna have a bad time with the bosses, and you kind of get around them.
Did our one have the copyright free versions?
No,
Because is it Japan? I have to double check this, but
yeah, there's
you'll let
multiple
me know
versions.
properly. It has the Terminator, Spider Man,
Yeah,
a Godzilla, I think. I know the
yeah.
third one has a Godzilla ripoff. There's a Meta Godzilla. I can't remember the others, but it's meant to be a couple of other
It's mad
like.
because when you put the game on, it automatically comes up with a Spider-Man trademark, which is pretty cool. So you do fight
Oh,
Spider-Man, and it's like blatantly Spider-Man. I thought when Spider-Man appears, I thought it'd be like, oh, it does look a bit like. No, it's
yeah.
literally Spider-Man. Literally
Oh,
comes
is it
down.
actually? Oh, right.
Yeah,
I didn't actually know
really
that.
cool. And then when
That's
you beat
cool.
Spider-Man, a kind of a vampire boss comes up, and it looks like I keep thinking it was like Morbius from the cartoon. That version, Michael Morbius, the one who was like a vampire. They made a movie of him with Jared Leto.
Oh, yeah.
It
That's what I
looks
figured of
I
first for
think of
some
him
reason.
in
Yeah.
that version. Yeah, and the Terminator's in it as well. And there is like a Godzilla character, but it's a skeleton. So I think that it wasn't Godzilla in this version. It's like more of
Oh,
a kind of a dinosaur. But that was cool. I could never seen that. That looked amazing to be honest on the screen. I love it when you go against a boss in 16-bit and it's massive on the screen.
yeah, I
It's
know.
something
It's like
impressive
in awe.
about
You're
that.
like, oh my god, look at the size of that, and you're
Yeah,
like, You get taken back by it because you don't think, oh, they'll make the sprites big enough for that on the
Exactly.
screen.
I think I've always been like that.
Big hand.
Like I've always been impressed with boss fights when they're massive on the screen. It's like when you fight a boss and it's like the same size as you, and you're like, oh, right, okay. But when you're playing God of War or something, remember playing God of War for the first time, and you the boss like fills the screen. Shadow of Colossus or something like that. It's like, oh my god, this is so cool. And I've always been like that with the old bosses. Like when in Gremlins 2, when you fight the spider gremlin.
Oh yeah, he takes up the whole screen. Part of the screen, doesn't he?
You just have to have a black background because it just takes up everything. Yeah. Like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
but I love that. Like, so that the bosses in this game are pretty good. Like, and you've got a good design to them as well. There's one in like a disco level. He's got like multiple versions of himself, and like, every time you hit him, one of the versions falls off. But it's like it's flashing like crazy because it's disco level. So if you ever, I don't know if have you played two? You played Revenge of Shinobi?
I played a tiny bit. When I first got it, I think I had it on a Mega CD, part of the classic collection on that, which is the same as what you've got, but the Mega CD version. Yeah. I don't think it's any different other than it was on a CD.
Cool. It's definitely worth playing. I think you'll love it, especially after playing 3. I think it'll be easier for you than 3 by the looks of it.
I think I also have it on the 3DS because Sega brought out a line of 3D classic games.
Oh, cool.
It's got Sonic, Streets of Rage, and Shinobi, and I think I tried it out in there. And it's kind of got like a foreground and background kind of 3D to it. It's really nice.
I want to try that. I miss the 3D stuff. I miss that stuff.
You would like that. I think you would. It's good.
Yeah, I want to have a look at that. Oh, is that one that they brought on the store though that you can't get? I guess
it was on the store. They did bring out a UK physical one that came with Power. No, is it not Power Slide? It was like Mario Kart, but with real people.
Oh, Street Racer.
Oh, yeah. I think it's that. It was that Regional Sonic, Shinobi, something else.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow. But it's great. It makes me want to play a lot more of the kind of ninja games or see how many more there are of those. And because I know they keep bringing them out. There's another one. I think Sega's working on a new one, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Well, are they? That news was so long ago now. Where is the
Streets of Rage and Golden Axe and all that stuff. I'm kind of interested. The Golden Axe one looked kind of interesting, although I wish there was more of a new 2D game because there wasn't that many Golden Axe games, and they could probably do something fun with it now.
Yeah, too many 3D stuff.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. So the other stuff I played, I quickly just mentioned the Stanley Parable because it's kind of like I suppose retro at this point.
Yeah,
I'd heard of it, and people always said it was funny. I thought it was going to be like a comedy game. I guess.
Did you feel like it was going to be like Portal?
Yeah, well, definitely.
Less confusing.
Yeah, well, no, I didn't think it was going to be like Portal because I had no idea. Right. So before going in, I thought it was going to be a comedy game. Someone said a narrator, so I thought it was going to be a comedy narrator narrating over you doing stuff. And for me, I was thinking Bastion because I played a bit of Bastion in the past.
Oh, that was fantastic! Yeah,
and I haven't played enough of that. I need to go back. But I was thinking that
a good one.
Oh, you completed it. So I was thinking that when a narrator talks over you what you do, that's all I thought. I was like, and everyone was like, you should play it. So I played in it, not really knowing the extent. And I mean, at this point, I think probably everyone's played it, but it's a game that, I mean, I don't think I'm going to ruin it. If I'm going to ruin it for everyone who wants to play.
It's been out for what, 13, 14 years?
It's retro at this point. But it basically like just loops. It loops the kind of intro all the time. And it's a head wrecker. And I wasn't prepared for that going in. And I enjoyed it, kind of. I kind of, one side of my brain really thought, oh, this is super clever, and I can't believe this, it's hilarious, and it's like, I'm really into this, invested in where this is going or where it's not going. And the other side of it was like, I hate this. I want it to stop. I don't feel satisfied at all with what's going on. And it was just like swapping between those hemispheres of my brain. And by the end of it, I was actually exhausted.
Like,
I was yawning and everything on the stream. Like, I can't believe this. I'm so tired. And I was like, I was like, because everyone was all doing these jokes to start. Everyone who knew about this game going, oh, well done, you've beat it. And I was like, what? I beat you? I was like, that's the thing, because the joke is that you've got to the end, but you haven't already got to the end. It's not the end, it's the beginning, and the end is the beginning is the end, and all this stuff. And I was like, and it was super clever and amazing for that, but like, I'll never play it again.
Well, a bit for me was where, like, when it kind of game overed and it wasn't game over, thinking, now am I going to repeat the same bit I've done, or is that on purpose for another alternative route for the
Exactly.
same plot, and it makes you feel
It's
uncomfortable.
clever.
Thinking,
It's clever, but you're right. It's
clever,
uncomfortable. But
yeah,
I think it's clever because it plays on this kind of expectation we've got of how video games work, and that's how clever it is. But it does
yeah,
the job. It does that job too well because
yeah,
every time
yeah,
if I quit out, am I actually quitting out into a fake version of the menu or
yeah,
something like that? I was likening it to there's an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where someone comes out of the holodeck and makes everyone feel like he's taken over the holodeck, which is impossible because a character in the holodeck can't come out of the holodeck. He will cease to
yeah.
exist. But he
Oh, I think
does.
I've seen that one. I don't watch that
Moriarty,
many, but that one I've seen. I
yeah,
think I remember that.
Moriarty comes out. But what he's
Yeah,
actually done is like he's created a ship out of the holodeck, so everyone thinks they're
yeah,
still in the ship, but they're actually. And it's incredible. It's a mind wrecker, and that's what that game reminds me of. Because I
yeah,
was like, "Am I still in the game?" When I got out the menu, and then there's a bit where someone tells you makes you quit, and I was like, "If I quit, am I in the game still?" And it turns out it did make me quit because they were trolling me. I was like, I don't know.
oh,
I was, but it was amazing. But also, it does the job because I was so
yeah,
annoyed and aggravated. I can't help but be like, yeah, well done. You did the job. You did what you were trying to intend to do.
yeah.
But it also makes me go, I hate you so much.
But then that was like
Doing
when
that.
I first played it. I played a bit of it. I found it brilliant at the start where it was like Stanley went over to this door and you went to a different door, like
Yeah,
everyone does that, and he goes, "But Stanley's not listening," or whatever, or something like
yeah.
that, isn't it? And you think that's cute, that's good,
I
and then it
questioned
kind of
everything
gets
like
a
that.
bit, yeah,
Yeah, I question because every time it was like go into this door, I was like sitting there and I stopped and go, okay, it's saying that because it makes me, it's trying to go make you want to go into the other door and
yeah,
disobey them. Oh, but that's what they want me to do, so I'm going to go in the other door. But
yeah,
then actually, they might be thinking that that's what they think I'm going to do. And I was starting like, wait a minute, I'm tripping over myself. I'm tripping over myself thinking about it. But it was really good. I'd actually bought it like 10 years ago, but I'd never played it. I was like,
I
but I
probably
was
did as well. I can't remember.
yeah,
I
it
probably
was
did a
one of those
Steam
ones
sale.
I was looking for like funny games to play, and I was like,
Yeah,
because I played that Thank God This Year, and I fancied something like that on a Friday,
yeah.
and that came up on the list, and I was like, I own that, so I might as well play that, and then it was like, there you go. So I had the experience. But the
But
other
did you?
thing, go on,
Yeah,
sorry.
I was going to say quickly. Did you find out if it actually can be completed properly, or didn't you look into it?
So it's really a kind of like it can't really. I don't think there are a amount of endings. There
Yeah,
is an amount of endings you can hit, but I don't know
right.
if it gets to that point and then the game will tell you you've got all the endings because the game is not about that. The game is about keeping you in this loop, isn't it?
Ah, okay.
But the thing is, it does give you achievements, and one of the
Oh,
achievements
okay. So
is
you could mark it off of that.
one of the achievements is beat the game properly, and I got that. So I got the proper ending, whatever
Oh,
that
okay
was.
then.
So I
That
was like, yeah,
counts then, doesn't
I'm
it?
done. But like,
Yeah.
apparently, there's like loads more endings I didn't see or whatever, which is it is cool. But like, I can imagine people who really enjoy that loop system want to go
Mm,
back into it. But I was like, oh, I can't. I
yeah.
need more energy. But there's a deluxe version of it, which I obviously didn't have. And apparently that
Okay.
adds more. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm fine for now.
Yeah.
Fine for
Give
now.
it another 10 years,
Over
maybe give
10
it
years.
another shot.
Apparently, there's I might even have it. There's an achievement for playing the game again in 10 years or something like that, or
Really?
5 years, 5 or 10 years. There's something
Oh,
like
what?
that. It's, again, how messy
Or
is that?
can't you? I wonder if you can cheat though and change the
Well,
clock on your
someone did
PC.
say you could. Some people did say you could change the clock on the PC for that. Yeah,
Mm,
if you wanted to do that,
yeah.
But anyway, that was like
Yeah,
the
yeah. What's
second
happening?
thing, and I only quickly wanted to mention that one. But the third one
Okay.
was this week actually. It was I played Mario All Stars, and I beat 1, 2,
Yes.
and 3 on the stream.
Yes, I heard.
Didn't
Yeah.
think I was going to do that because you know what I'm like. I normally talk for like ages and then play like a minute of
Well,
the game.
normally you load up the first level and go to right, everybody. We're going to move Mario forward.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mario
let's go.
Science.
What do we do here, everybody?
I know I've never lived that down. People used to send me messages hating me for that. Mario Science. I've had that
No,
before.
no,
Tetris was the
really?
worst.
Oh,
When I did the Tetris stream and I
yeah.
paused it every time the blocks moved down one, and I said, oh, I just don't know what I'm going to do. What you got? And it was just like people going nuts. But yeah, I beat up 3 of them, and I hadn't properly played Mario All Stars since I was a kid. Like I've
Right.
boosted up now and again, but I've never really beat the games on it. So that was really enjoyable to kind of like I'm so used to seeing the NES versions of them because that's kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what I know. So it was really nice to see like new versions. I suppose as well because we've been playing the Nintendo World Championship thingy So
Yes.
they
Yeah.
show the NES versions. So it's nice to see and hear new music and all these different parts of the games. And I didn't think I was gonna. Well, one was all right because of played that loads of times.
Yeah.
But that was all right. And then two, I thought because I beat that last year, I thought I'm gonna have some issues because it's a bit fiddly
It's a bit more tricky, number 2, isn't it?
it is. And then I didn't have really any issues with it. It's like, okay, I'm
Oh.
on a bit of a roll. And then three, I thought, oh, I haven't beat three in years. Like I even tried to play three last year, and I got stuck on one of the ship levels at the end. I couldn't get
Oh,
past it.
okay.
And I had
Yeah.
no issues on this one at all. Like I just went through it and then got to the boss. The last boss is so simple. I think the
yeah.
last boss on three is the easiest Mario boss there is.
Yeah.
Because
So
in number one, it's tricky because you have to try and either jump over Bowser or go underneath him when he's throwing all the axes and stuff. And that can be tricky. It can be stressful when you're in that situation. And then two, you've got to kind of weave in and out, get the turnips and all that stuff and throw it in Wart's mouth at the right time. Otherwise, you will throw stuff at you. And then on three, it's literally just like move out the way when Bowser
he
jumps over.
falls
That's
through
it. And
the floor, isn't it?
he throws one or two flames. He does that.
Yeah.
Breathes those. And that's about it. That's all you got to dodge. Apparently, he can duck down when he jumps at you because the bottom of Bowser has it won't hit you. So if you duck underneath, like as he lands on you, if you just duck, his bottom half won't actually hit you. That's what I didn't check it.
But I didn't know about that.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I beat all three of them. I think I'm near Lost Levels because I don't know about you, but I just never liked Lost Levels. Like as a kid, I just thought I didn't know the story.
I didn't get it. I was like, "What is this?" Because I was just like, "Well, is this just Mario Brothers 1, just remixed or something?" But I have played it since, and I played it on stream because I played it against Just Andy 89 at one point because we were kind of who could complete it with a less amount of deaths and stuff over a long time ago. I actually really like Lost Levels because it's. I think because remember in this version, on the Famicom disc version, if you game over, tough. You start from the beginning. There's no continues. But on the All-Star version, you continue at the beginning of that level. So if you die on that level, even if you get game over, you go back to that level. You're not starting over. So you'd get through it.
Okay. Because I just thought it was like kind of... Well, I have dabbled with it in the past, and I just thought... because after playing loads of like Cat Mario or the Kaizo style things, I was like, is this just that?
It kind of... You get to a section, right, where it looks like you won't be able to get through a gap, or there's a jump, and you think, well, how am I going to get all the way there when there's a platform just above it and things like that?
Yeah.
And... because you eventually work it out, and it's really rewarding. It's really rewarding for what it is. It's not cheap on you. I've completed it.
It makes me want to go back now after hearing this because I think in my mind as a kid, I was like, it was just I didn't remember anyone hearing the story about the original version of it or anything like that. I just thought this is like levels that didn't make Mario 1. That's what it felt like.
It's weird where you see certain creatures in the underwater sections. You go, why are you in the water?
Yeah.
you see like a Koopa.
They made the right choice. They made the right choice to give us the actual Mario 2 we got because it's so different. If we would have got a second one, regardless of being harder, I think we just thought this is more the same. You know, it didn't feel as like inventive or creative.
Oh, it doesn't feel. Oh yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like a new game. It feels like a weird remix, but I think because the levels are so different, maybe it's up to you. But give it a stream if you don't like it after one stream, because I think you might get into it because you're good at the Mario games anyway, and playing through these, and remember every time you complete a level, it saves.
Yeah,
so you're not having to backtrack.
That's what's kind of spurred me on a little bit. And also, it's because I want, it's been nice to kind of have that cartridge done.
That'd be all of them done then.
Done. And I've done it. And I can move on to the next games. Because I've never played to completion Mario 64. And that's starting to kind of drill at me a little bit, saying, maybe I'll do that in the future.
Nor have I. I got quite far and I just sort of stopped.
Yeah, same.
I'll get lost in it. I'll get lost in it a lot.
People, it's one of those games. I'm a sucker for like lists. You know, when you see a list of the 500 best video games you play ever made, and that's always going to be on there. And I'm like, I need to play that game.
Yeah.
It's like Doom. I'm gonna play Doom by the looks of it soon. And I'm like, I'm good, and that's because of the last time we talked about it. By the way, I was like, I've got to get Doom on that list and do it because I also want to read the biography, the Doom Guy book or whatever it was called.
I've got that, and I haven't read it either.
Have you got a copy of that? Have you?
I've got a copy of it. Yeah.
Or did you get it signed at Blackpool? Maybe. Oh no, did you
I didn't. I got the book, but I got my game signed. I got a copy of Doom on the PlayStation somewhere that's signed by him. I did that.
I'm going to get a copy of the book. I think I'm going to beat Doom first, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm allowed to play this now. I'm allowed to read this now.
Yeah.
But Mario. I'll get back to that, and then it'll open up the world of like I'll do Sunshine, and I'll do 64, and blah blah blah. And
I love Sunshine. People hate on Sunshine so much. I don't get why. There are some tricky levels, but it doesn't play like a normal Mario game. I think that's the problem. But I think it looks stunning. It looks so beautiful. And you can either go for much completion or just get through the levels.
I was kind of a bit obsessed with like compilations at the moment, like the Mario All Stars, the Mega Games, Mega Drive stuff, and the Turtles collection, where I started like getting through the games the other week. And I'm looking at that Mario All Stars, the 3D All Stars, and thinking, I mean, I've got this thing of like, I know we like to play games on original hardware, the game when they came out, but also there's got to be a reason why we buy the compilations, why we buy these things. That Switch game just sitting on the shelf, and I'll never play it unless I push myself to go through those games.
Honestly, like that is a great little collection, that one, because you've got the N64 version. You haven't got to worry about the slowdown. It looks a bit nicer. They say it's just the ROM and a cartridge, but it runs really well. Who cares?
Yeah.
It runs really well. You've got convenience of playing it without having to deal with
that. The music's amazing. I mean, I wanted it really for a really convenient way to play Galaxy, because Galaxy is the game that brought me back into playing Mario games.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Really? Yeah, I love Galaxy.
It's so good. And I wish 2 was on there. 2 should be on there, like as a kind of unlockable or something. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
We should have done that. But that was my couple of weeks of playing games. So we move on to the news.
Yes.
Got quite a lot of news this week. Well, I think we got a lot of news. We could probably talk about quite a lot of it. Atari 7800 plus announcements. Another Atari plunger. By the way, while we're streaming here, they probably announced another one.
Yeah.
But they're going through all the different Ataris. What are your thoughts on this? It doesn't sound like you're excited.
It's a bit like... It's like, well, okay, problem with me, I didn't grow up with Atari, so I've got no nostalgia whatsoever. I remember someone having one. That's about as far as it goes. But maybe if your first console was the 7800 plus, is it 78 plus?
Yeah, plus. All the new ones are plus because it's the plus because it's modern. Basically, modern.
was that the modern age version of putting E in front of everything? Like,
that's it. Yeah. It's not original. If
you grew up on a system, I would probably buy one because it's a proper nostalgia. You've got that little console of is it a mini? I actually looked at it.
It's. Do you know what? Here's the thing, right? It's just like the 2600 he brought out. It's the same thing.
I thought it was.
Here's the thing. So it plays 7800 games, and it can play all the 2600 games as well. Well, not all.
So why would you buy the other one then?
Well, why would you buy this one? Because the other one also does. The other one also does 7800 games. So these machines both do the same thing. This is the thing.
It's down to literally what you prefer the look of.
It could be aesthetic. That's what I mean. There would be more to it. This is the quick look I've had a look at it, and I was thinking they both play the same cartridges. Now, it might be a case where this one only plays the new versions of the 7800 games because like the 2600, they brought out new enhanced versions of the games, and new homebrew versions. Like with this, you get a copy of. What's the game that comes with it? I think it's like not Crystal Castles. It's a homebrew version of the sequel of Crystal Castles.
Bear Crystal Quest.
Yeah,
Bentley.
Bentley is the name of the bear in Crystal Castles. Yeah. So this got like an unofficial sequel years ago. And so they've made a kind of a revamped version of it to go along with it. So that's quite cool. It's kind of like a nice exclusive with it, and it's an official game for Atari, which is pretty ace. But like, I'm wondering if that kind of thing only works with this machine and not the other one. You know what I mean? If the enhanced version 7800 games only work on the mini 7800 plus.
The thing is with these, and like, I've got nothing against obviously emulation stuff, but isn't it? Could it pretty much be under the hood? Is it going to be pretty much the same thing because it's software
Yeah,
driven? It's not
software driven.
FPGA. It's all
No,
software driven. So you could surely it probably works with both, unless they restrict it on purpose.
that's the thing. Yeah,
Or will it be more
I doubt they're
RAM?
gonna do
You
that.
know?
Yeah. I think you're right though. I think it's more about the aesthetics. Which one do you like the look of?
Yeah.
And it's like if you grew up with this one, and then they're releasing loads of it, like Space Duel is another one of those unofficial games that are being released for it as well.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm looking at it on Amazon now for 25 quid. They did the same thing with the 2600 re-releases. And to be honest, if I had the money, I'd probably be interested in some of these kind
Yeah.
of exclusive titles with the boxes and manuals and things because it is a new game and it's a physical thing.
Oh
But
yeah. Yeah. From that point of view, definitely.
but
It's
yeah,
not
and
going to
that
be
yeah,
the
it's a
digital
physical
version.
thing you put on your shelf. You know,
Yeah.
we're terrible at kind of having heart eyes for stuff like
Mm.
that. So I get that. So if you're a collector and you just care about Atari, but for me, I don't have any nostalgia for the 7800 because when I started Atari, it was I got the Junior, which was like the mid 80s. That's when I
Yes, the
started
smaller
gaming,
version of it, wasn't
smaller
it? Quite.
version. And that's made me kind of nostalgic, weirdly enough, for the original Woody one because like I've seen that
Yeah.
before and I played the same games. But I'm mostly nostalgic about the Junior, so I didn't know about this one, and this one just come out just after the game crash,
Oh,
just after the video game crash. So it was just at that point where like Nintendo was about to come in and just dominate. You know what I mean? So I
yeah.
kind of missed out on this. So I got the Junior. Well, that was cheap because that was a really budget version of the Atari system, and then went into like a Specky and then Nintendo. So I kind of didn't see this at all in the UK.
Now these were totally under my radar. I remember a friend of mine had a like Pong clone. It was literally a dedicated Pong game that plugged into TV. I don't know what it was. I don't remember nobody I knew back then had an Atari of some sort. They had a clone of everything. They never
Yeah,
had the originals. I don't know
yeah.
if
Well,
that was.
I suppose that was the issue, isn't it? Because you could clone all the games
Yeah,
originally,
they're
and
probably
that's
really
what.
cheap.
So
You
when
know.
this one came out, because I've been reading up the 7800, they had to have like a digital signature within the game, so they can only play official Atari
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
So that was a way of them getting around it, which was kind of forward thinking. And I think this was the first machine as well, according to Wikipedia. You know, it's like
Yeah.
that could play. It was backwards compatible. So when this came out, this could play all the 2600 carts, which is pretty cool for the time. Like you
They're
can get
pretty
all
cool
new
because
ones and new ones.
you could sell the other one to your mate who didn't have one, maybe, or something like that, and then you'd get the next one, and then have the
Exactly.
convenience of having both. Yeah, doing both because that was the biggest thing. From I don't know about for the UK, but in America it hit hard where when the Super Nintendo come out. And because it couldn't play NES games, all the parents were all up, were all going, "Oh, they're Nintendo trying to rip us off, bring out a new console so we can't play the old games on it without
Yeah,
understanding the technology."
exactly.
And
And they
that
just
sort of
call,
thing.
and it's like the days where people went, "Oh, oh, you want an Atari? Just get the new one." Or, "Oh, you
Yeah,
want a Nintendo? Get the new one." But,
yeah,
but
yeah.
obviously, it wasn't backwards compatible when you got the SNES compared to on the NES and all that stuff. But
Mm.
I'm just looking at the 2600 blurb on the official Atari website, and it says, "Enjoy your favorite Atari 2600 and 7800 games on one system." So yeah, it's like it already does the same thing, but
But
it's like
maybe it's for collectors because there are
yeah,
collectors who like to collect boxes of consoles. So
yeah,
maybe
that's it
they
as
just
well.
like the box of
I mean,
different
if you're a massive,
systems. You
again,
know?
I suppose I'm an Atari nerd to an extent, but I'm more of like a Nintendo and Sega nerd at this
Yeah.
point. So, well, like, if they did I suppose the SNES, the mini SNES, probably can run NES games.
Oh,
Probably
it
can, can't
can
you?
because
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, because I hacked. Well, it's a hacked. You know, you did the software change of it, and I could play on the SNES. I could play the NES and the SNES games on it, and
Yeah.
Mega Drive on there. They
Oh,
could all play
really?
that on there.
I wonder if the NES could do that as well. The mini
It
NES.
it can if you've got a SNES with the connector for the NES, because
Hmm.
otherwise you'll be playing SNES games with just A and B.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yes, true.
Yeah,
But
that's the issue.
it
But
was
yeah, you
powerful
play them.
enough.
You play them.
So this kind of, I mean, at least this tells you up front, hey, this can play both of them and plays the carts. With those
Yeah, at
mini
least they
systems,
don't
couldn't
hide the
play carts.
facts, do they?
And they can't play carts on the NES and the SNES, but they can on these. That's pretty cool. Like, so
Yeah,
I'm not complaining about it. I'm just thinking, who is it for? And it's got to be for
yeah,
like
that's
if
the
you are a
thing.
proper enthusiast for like both of the systems, so you've got loads of
Yeah.
nostalgia memories, and also because like it's coming out like I suppose winter this year. It's the same because I think it was the Atari 2600 Plus came out last year for winter.
Oh, was it? Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it
it must
was,
be.
wasn't it? I think it was
Yeah,
last year.
Well, a
So
Christmas stocking
yeah.
thing, it's an expensive stocking thing.
It makes me realise though, are they going to release a Jaguar at some point, like a mini like Atari Jaguar?
Now that I would probably pick up because I don't have one. I would actually pick one up.
It would be quite cool, wouldn't it? If it had a bunch of games, I can imagine that though.
I don't think they will, only because that controller's too complicated.
Oh yeah, and they'd have to release
That's going to
that
cost a
because
lot of money making that.
it's like an icon, really, isn't it, for the system?
Yeah, they never had any alternative controllers. They only had the one with the keypad and that. That was it.
No, yeah, they'd have to release that.
Yeah,
that's. I kind of think like that would probably would it do better? No, I don't know. I don't because it's infamous because it like kind of pretty much failed. So the people want it. Like what you want it? Alien vs Predator, and that's it.
Well, the problem is again, Alien vs Predator. Would they be able to do it? Licensing.
Oh yeah.
Because,
imagine it came out and that wasn't on it.
Well, exactly, and that's what everyone's going to want to play. That an exclusive game only on that system, and you can't get it even on there.
Apologies to anyone who loves Jaguar, by the way. I just don't know any of the games. There's probably a bunch of them. There was actually another game on the Atari 50 that was really good. I shoot 'em up. I can't remember what it was, and it was crazy with all weird animals in it. I thought it was ace, but I can't remember the name of it. It was like a lion on the front of it, I think it was. Hope not get mixed up.
It's not the one where you got like aliens invading, and you got like kind of do something with the animals to.
I can't remember. It was a shoot 'em up.
Very complicated game.
It was a shoot 'em up. It was kind of simple to play. Can't remember what it was called.
I don't know then. I only know Tempest. Is it Tempest 4? No, 3000, 2000, something like that.
I know Tempest, yeah.
That's really good on it. Yeah. And Alien vs Predator. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Bubsy's on it. Got Bubsy on it. Yeah.
So next news. But anyway, that's £100, by the way. £100 and you get the game with it and a controller. And apparently it's going to be a bundle, but at the moment I'm just looking at the Amazon listings and stuff like that. And it's like with the 2600, they came out with loads of hardware for it.
Yeah.
I guess they were just going to like Ninja Golf. There's loads of like games that are already on.
Oh, Ninja Golf, that's a weird one. I'd love to play. I've seen it being played.
£27, like for the bot. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? If you want these games, but these games don't last that long, do they? You play them for 5 minutes.
They're 5-minute games, aren't they? You're not going to be playing for hours without trying to beat each other's scores, maybe. Or if they had some more incentive, like you had, even though it takes it out of the immersion in the way of playing it the old way, but some way it would save your scores and upload them somewhere.
Yeah.
But then they won't do that, will they? But
well, we've got another system to talk about in a minute, but before that, I want to talk about the Nintendo Museum Direct that was put out the other day. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Were you excited?
I would love to go to it because it's more like it's not theme parky. It's taken a more serious and historical thing. I think
geeky as hell, wasn't it?
Yeah, very. But it's kind of like I kind of liked it. I didn't in that presentation. I didn't really show much, but at the same time, it's good because you want to be surprised there, don't you? You want to go and go, wow, look at this. The way you get tickets at the moment is a bit controversial with the whole raffle system, but that's not unusual.
I think that's early on. Though.
Yeah, I think they changed that. They changed it.
A couple of years down the line, if it's still there, that will be all right. The issue I'll talk about the things I like at the moment, but I like how playful it is. Like it's very Nintendo for them to have like we don't want it just to be a kind of a boring museum. We're going to make it playful, so the things you can kind of interact with, like the floor and the on the main floor is like a card game, so you can kind of mess around with some kind of phone device or a touchscreen device. And there's a room with giant controllers in that you can play.
Did you see the giant two people holding a giant
Wii
remote?
I was laughing my head off when I saw the giant Wii. It was just like it looks ridiculous. It looked like a joke from like Brass Eye or something. I was just like, was this real? I thought it was amazing, and I can imagine us doing that in the future. We'll definitely be doing that. I've got to have a giant Wii. But it was so fun, and there's another one with like it was so Japanese, but like it was like a Japanese arcade game where Miyamoto was like smashing like was it golf balls or ping pong balls against the all elements.
Oh, that was great!
In the room.
It was like simulating the old
it
toys.
Reminds me of one of those games like where like that arcade game where you lift up the table in anger. Or something like that. You do weird things like that. It reminded me of something like that. They would come up with. It's like you smash things in a room and then things would pop up and all that. And I thought that's so cool. But
and the Super Scope section.
The Super Scope. Oh my god, that was so fun. That was so fun. They give you a reason to go there, so you're not because a lot of those places I've been to before. There was one in Manchester I went to a while ago. It was all right, but it was very good for like if you've never, if you're just like a very casual retro gamer. You want to dip back into games you played when you were a kid. Like, oh, I remember the
I remember this. Yeah,
and they got Mario Kart 64 out there, and you go, oh, Mario Kart 64. Yeah, and you can play that for a bit, and they put it down. But if you and me goes to that, you walk around and go, I've got more than this. Do you know what I mean? You feel a bit like that. Not on a weird way, because we've been collected for years. Do you know what I mean? And you've paid to go in, and you're like, they promised they were going to put loads of stuff in glass cases, and you see the stuff in glass cases, and you're going, I've got one of them just like in the middle of my floor. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they've got it like with a plaque and everything, and we're just like, yeah. But when you see the stuff in the Nintendo museum, it feels like it's valid for the stuff.
Also, it's made for the museum, like a Super Scope. Yes, it is a Super Scope, but obviously it's modified to work with that big screen and stuff, and you can't do that at home.
No, you can't do. Yeah, the stuff you can't do at home. But I'm loving all the stuff you can kind of see, all the different variations of the games and the consoles and things like that from all around the world. That stuff's fascinating because normally when you go to one over here, it's just got here's a Famicom. That's it. That's it. But they had all the different versions of like that and the different versions of like the games they released. It's such a better idea. I mean, they only it sound like they only scratched the surface of what they're going to show you because they obviously don't want to spoil it all. And I was like,
exactly.
I was hoping
that much, but
I'd love if they announced like a VR version of it or something like you just walk around. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? From at home, that'd be great because it's so far away. But also, I get the impression I'm a little bit cynical here that they want to make money from this because did you notice the whole thing about using the card? Because you talk about the card you get and you can put digital coins on it, and you wave that card in all those physical games. You've got to do that. So I bet you've got to upgrade that. So and your more coins, you've got more times you can play.
Yeah, it's a bit like the is it? Oh, what's the name of them? Not Serical. The travel cards, a bit like Oyster, but their version of it. That you use them on vending machines to buy things. Yeah. So it's quite a common thing. It's going to be like that. Yeah, but did you see how much the tickets are? They're only about the tickets go in from conversion at this current state because the yen is through the floor at the moment. It's not doing very well, the yen. It's about £13 a ticket.
What?
I know. You're like, what?
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. And then you think, I wonder how much upcharge on everything else will be. But then even then, I'm not being funny, but I mean,
it sounds like it's a day out,
won't you?
It's a day out. The day out for that,
it's a day out.
And you know what we feel like? You've got a shop there with official Nintendo Museum merchandise. Oh, well, you know.
Do you know what? First thing I thought of, because I was gutted, out of all the things they didn't show, they didn't show the merch shop. I want to see what the merch shop
they'd show something to kind of go, this is the launch merchandise that everyone will be after or whatever. You know what I mean?
People go, oh, you know.
Exactly. But they've also got a cafe, which looks like it just sells burgers. Which is so weird. You can buy a burger with like thousands of different variations of what goes on the burger. They're keeping it simple, but the toppings are like endless or something like that.
Which is quite surprising considering what they do with the Pokemon stuff, where they are basic food, but they really theme it up.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe they are, but
maybe because the variations will do that. You know what I mean? And then obviously with the drinks and stuff. But they've kept it simple and that. But it looks really fun. Like I mean, I'm already planning in my head next time I want to go to Japan. But also, I know how expensive this whole plan is. You know, it's going to be through the roof. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm going to be like 50 or 50 odds by the time I can get back to Japan. But I'll be like 70 going, I want to go to Nintendo World.
But you'll be rich by then.
Yes.
You would have made all your money from all the investments of the future.
All that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, wherever that be.
Yeah, exactly. But it would be great, though. I'd love the idea of going back and going into... Because Nintendo World, they've got one of those in America, haven't they, as well now, I think.
Yeah, it's weird, though, because they've got one in America and Japan, but I want to go to the Japan one.
Yeah,
I'm
me
not
too.
about the American one.
No. And especially with this now. And they could easily put one of these museums in America as well. Like, there's nothing stopping them do that. Yeah. I think he probably will announce that because he did the same thing with the Nintendo World.
Yeah, same with Japan only, and then America got it literally announced a few months later.
Exactly. It makes more sense for them because of like them putting out like Hollywood movies now, like the Mario movie and the Zelda movie is going to come out. So they're becoming way more international than they were because they were just a gaming company, and then they're releasing a lot of media. Well, like say they were releasing multimedia before, but popular media, let's say, because Mario Brothers, the original one, didn't do that well, etc. Even though we love it.
I love
But
it.
yeah, I love it. I just wish these things would kind of open up over here as well, or at least Europe.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Europe at least. More likely, I thought it would be Germany because one of Nintendo headquarters or the
Yeah,
repair centers is in Germany. So
that'd be
maybe
fine.
that.
That'd be fine.
That's
That'd be a bit easier trip, wouldn't it? I'd be like,
yeah,
okay, we can
yeah.
get there.
Or
But
France or something.
he got Euro, Disney, so come on, give us a Nintendo World. You got I don't know if Asterix Park still exists actually. Don't know if that
I heard about it, yeah. I don't know. I
went there as a
wouldn't
kid.
suppose it wouldn't be.
But I don't know. Well, that was the news about Nintendo Museum Direct, which we're kind of really excited about. So let's jump on to the next mini system to come out. I mean, every week, every podcast, we could just talk about a new system that's coming out, a new mini one.
Isn't it?
And this is the new mini Spectrum. I call it the mini
Now,
Spectrum.
I haven't seen this yet. I was waiting to react to it while on stream, actually.
Oh, really?
Just
It's 90 quid, as you say, £90 coming out this year. About the same price. It's a bit cheaper than the Atari. It's got
that's a good point, actually. Yeah,
48
true.
built-in games, including Manic Miner, which you complained about the other day. I think you said something about Manic Miner. What did you say? Because it was Spectember, you went, "Oh, I'm not going to play Manic Miner like everyone else is." You've got to play Manic Miner. It's like it's the poster child.
It's every time anyone streams Spectrum, they're always playing that game.
Well, it's great. It's great. It's like if you did NES and you didn't play Mario.
Yeah, I know.
Like, come on. Like, if you did
play Mario, playing Sonic.
Yeah, you've got to do it. You've got to do it.
Yeah.
I'm rubbish at it as well. But it comes with 48 games because of like the 48K,
Yes.
But the great thing about this is that it does take, I think it's USB, so you can put your own games on it.
Yeah, good old,
which is pretty good. So this could be like a really good solution. And the thing I really like about it is that keyboard works, that rubber keyboard. He says it's an
it is. It's not just. It's actually workable. Not
because in the past, any little mini system like this, you have to plug in another keyboard. And you're like, what's the point?
And then it lost the whole point of why you had it.
Yeah, that thing just becomes a big waste of space because it's pointless. You may as well just be like a little Raspberry Pi or something. But so that keyboard works. And I was looking at how the software works. I don't know if it's got pictures on there. You can actually watch the video. And it shows you that it's a bit like the mini NES, where you can have save states in the game, like 4 save states, and you can reverse and things like that. And I think the mini NES and mini SNES are the same kind of save state stuff.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. And I think the game that kind of showing off there is Alien Girl, the first one.
Yeah, Alien Girl. I don't know that. I don't know my Spectrum.
That's a newish game. That only came out, I want to say 2020. Like not that long ago.
New one.
It's a new one,
enough.
So it's doing a similar things with the Atari, like putting some like new kind of. I don't know if it's called. It would be a homebrew at this point if they're like games that are just going to be made for the system. I don't know if they're still homebrew. I don't know what classes as homebrew. If it's a game
weird,
that's officially on the system.
Indie homebrew.
Indie game, yeah. But yeah, it's got massive games on it, not just Manic Miner. I can list some of them as well. So Alien Girl, Ant Attack, big game. Vader Sane Monty, so we've got a Monty game on there. Just going through some of them. Fire Lord, Football Manager 2. I've never been into Football Managers, but I know people bloody love those games. Yeah. Head Over Heels. Head Over Heels is a huge one. And that's mad because it's an ocean game. So I didn't expect that to be on there. The Hobbit is on there. That was a big one for the time. Horace Goes Skiing, Jack the Nipper. I'm just naming ones I know. Saboteur. It's Saboteur remastered. So that's interesting because that might be the version that you can get on the Switch. Because I think I own both of those, Saboteur 1 and 2. So that's
Great Escape looks good. I'm just through the pictures.
Yeah, I never played that one. Way of the Exploding Fist. I mean, there's loads. There's 48 games on there, and you can add more in there. Load your own games via USB. Yeah, got to make sure you own these games. Put them all on.
Got to own them all on original cassette. And
you know what's weird though, because it outputs at 720, which is odd, isn't it? It's like I don't know why you just got the whole hog go 1080p. Because I think
they do the same with the Commodore Mini as well.
I wonder what the reason is. Is it because there's no reason for it to go to 1080 because of what it is?
I think it's overkill. I think, or is it something to do with the aspect ratio of the original 4:3? Does it work very well in 1080? Maybe I don't know. I don't know technical enough on it.
Yeah, but overkill seems about right as well because it doesn't make you go, "Oh, I can't believe it." Those pixel graphics will be a bit like fuzzy on my big. I don't know.
Yeah. And also, it's interesting. It does, like the Commodore, it does PAL and NTSC on it.
Yeah, PAL and
which is
NTSC.
interesting.
But 12, choose from 12 attractive frames to surround gameplay. I mean, that's the thing now, isn't it? Because when you get 4:3 ratio, you you always get that big black borders. So it's
Yeah,
kind of nice to do your own thing. It'd be great if you can add your own, and then that kind of becomes like its own thing where people are making them for you, and then people put them on Etsy and all that stuff. That could be a good thing anyway. But
I'm so super surprised that it literally advertises load your own games via USB.
Because it's your own, you own them. That's the loophole, isn't it? Because you're allowed to load your own games if you've got it back. You're just backing it up. But I think that's the thing about the Crash reviews are pretty cool because it says includes 32-page Crash magazine mini mag special edition featuring reviews of classic and new games.
I like that
because that's still going. I like that. I think this is for me makes more sense. The Atari. I would actually really want one of these. It makes
this has a bit more behind it. I feel it feels a bit hollow.
It feels useful. I think.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because I've got an Atari 128. I'd love one of those. I love the original one of those. I don't own one. I'd love to. You've got one there, haven't you? Damn it. You got one?
Yeah, I've got it here, actually. Let's see. I wonder how much smaller it's going to be, though. Because if it's a working keyboard, it could be exactly the same size.
I think it's going to be the same, yeah. I'd love one of those just for my collection. Because
I only got this because Andy gifted it to me for my birthday.
Nice. Oh, that's super nice of him. Super. Has he got 20 of them? Oh, my word.
I don't know. Well, he's got quite a few. He's got a drawer full of them.
But, he's probably sleeping on them.
Yeah.
And Shank was wowzers. Yeah, I'd love one of those. But I think the issue with these things, and even with the Atari and every mini system that's ever been out, they are quite popular over Christmas. That's why they kind of released them for the winter.
Yeah.
And then just after Christmas, and actually when you have that window where Amazon can't deliver anything anymore, so they suddenly go into sale mode. You'll see a drop in price for all these. The Ataris did that. This one will do that.
The Commodore did it.
Quid.
Yeah.
The Commodore one, Lynn's picked that up for me for Christmas. It was £20 in game.
Really? I didn't know. I wish I picked one up now. Damn it.
Oh, it's super cheap. And I was like, well, I'm gonna have that. I'm definitely gonna have that because I don't have a Commodore 64 anyway. It's a convenient way to me to play it. But if I saw this dead cheap, I would definitely pick it up. I think it's. Yeah. I'd want it now, to be honest. I think it's just it's a nice little machine. I kind of want to just play through loads of the games. I'd probably play this on the stream. It'd make a fun stream with going through all the games.
Good for that as well. Alone, let alone just look nice.
But it'd be nice, just a nice, convenient little model you can put all your favorite games on, and you don't have to worry about your Spectrum burning out on stream or something like that. Because that does tend to happen. But yeah, I like it. A nice little model. It's just mad. I don't think these things are going to stop now. But it's quite interesting because for the longest time we've just had American systems mostly, and and now
there's always the American artwork as well. Like even the SNES Mini, the artwork's all the American. It's not the PAL version. It's what we grew up with. But this is a British console.
Yeah. So it'd be nice if that's explored a little bit more. If we're going to get 128, or we're going to get the toaster version of this. Well,
it says here it emulates 48 and 128 modules.
So going through the same.
This is going to be the all-in-one.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it's the most iconic one, isn't it? So yeah. Let's see what happens. So, what is there any other systems left that you'd be actually interested in that you could see a mini version of that you go, oh yeah, cool, that makes sense. Because it's easy to say, the Saturn or the Dreamcast and things like that, but would you actually want them?
Well, it's a bit like I bought this SNES and Mega Drive one. I don't know why, because I don't see it. Literally does. It does play downstairs. Like the PC Engine was a good one.
Oh,
because we didn't have one at the time, and that's quite. That's a good way. If you definitely
when did you release the PC Engine one?
Oh, ages ago. That came out.
My word.
Oh, blimey!
I forgot about that. That must have completely passed me by, or I've just completely forgot about it.
It got a PAL release and everything. So I didn't import it. It was literally the PAL one.
I want to get into the PC Engine. Maybe that's what it is, because at the time I wasn't that bothered, but now I'm kind of I feel like there's loads of games.
The only problem is it's got Snatcher on there, which is a fantastic game, but it's not translated. It's just Japanese.
What?
You can't play it.
Can you load your own games in there? So maybe like a translation.
Do you know what? I didn't even look into hacking it at all. I don't know if they did it or they didn't do it, but it's annoying because I thought they would have maybe it'd be a nice incentive to have a translated version, like the Mega CD version at English. But they didn't bother.
A Mega CD? Do you think a Mega CD Mini could work, or do you think it's will be popular?
Because you've got the FMV games that are quite fun. They run really well on it.
like
You know,
Night Trap. Can you imagine not advertising
Night
that?
Trap
Like,
30p on the big
yeah,
TV.
I just don't know if they could advertise like a Mega CD Mini and put like Night Trap on the front. I don't know if like because with the other minis, it's kind of. I suppose these ones aren't aimed at kids. No one's buying. No
Yeah, but
kids go out there going, "Can I have a
what
mini
kid's gonna
Spectrum?"
go?
No,
Yeah,
no, I
on
want to
Amazon,
play Head
I'll
Over
make a
Heels.
wish list
I want
circling on his Argos
I
catalogue.
want to play Manic Miner. There's
Yeah,
no kids doing
oh,
that,
we
so I
smash
suppose
that.
it's going to aim at enthusiasts. So maybe Night Trap could sell it. To be honest, maybe that could
Yeah,
sell it. You know,
it's an expensive game,
yeah,
but you can buy it on Switch.
yeah, and it's I'll go argue and say it's a better version as well. The new ones,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
is really, but yeah,
manageable. You can actually
nostalgic stuff.
properly play it. But yeah, that's that system. I'm excited about it, and
That's
you know,
nice.
we'll always do some updates about what the new systems are coming out because it's nice to talk about as well. Isn't
Yeah, it's always worth doing it.
it? So there was also a Nintendo Direct, which
Yes.
we both streamed. Really, I've streamed when it was on, and you streamed it later on.
Yeah,
And
because
yeah,
when you had it
interesting.
on, I couldn't really listen because I was on and off, and I didn't want to listen too much because I wanted to sort of surprise myself with it and see
Yeah,
what our
it's
views
nice
were
to know.
on it and stuff.
So I plucked out some kind of retro news in there, but also ones that are
Yeah, good idea. That's what you did. Yeah,
kind of like did I do did I put that Instagram? I did have a picture with all of the things on. I might have got it. No, I've got it there. So I can kind of go through them all as well. But the
yeah,
first thing that hit me, like, because this Nintendo Direct was two parts. The first part was indies, and the second part was partners. Was it?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
more like
Official
AAA stuff.
partners or something. Yeah,
So I guess that was more kind of modern games. I'll be honest, the
yeah.
second half I wasn't as bothered about. I mean, a lot of people out there who love all that stuff. It's just a lot of that stuff just isn't my kind of.
I was the
Taste.
same. I said to everyone on the stream, I went, I enjoyed the first part more than the second part, and
Yeah,
a lot of people were saying, yeah, I did as well because
I was
yeah.
lurking your stream yesterday while you're watching it because
Oh,
I saw like the likes of Nutty and all that were really excited about some of the like anime based games, and
mm.
they just kind of wash over me because I just don't know them. I've got no kind
You
of
don't,
in
just don't
that
know them
stuff.
in it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. So it's just like I don't know. You know, people could say that about some of the games that we're into. You see, oh,
exactly.
another Mario game, like it all looks the same. You know, but I just haven't a clue. So that first half, Tetris Effect. At
Mm.
first, I was thinking, oh, this is stupid. A Tetris compilation. Like,
Yeah, oh,
what?
yeah.
I was
like,
thinking
there's
originally of like
Tetris,
a
Tetris
Tetris,
2.
but the more it went on, the more I was
Right.
like, God damn it, this is actually really interesting because there's all these
Yeah,
different variations of Tetris. And then I actually looked up, if you watch that trailer, it shows you there's
yeah,
a documentary on there as well, documentary
yeah.
talking about it. Yeah, I think it's made by the same people, I may be wrong with this, the same people who made the Atari 50 compilation, the
And that was,
collection.
I didn't get it, but I hear good
So
things
good,
about it.
very good. Like if you're our age and you want to, the only reason you want to buy compilations now because they add all these bells and whistles to them. The Atari
Mm.
50 is one of those, which is really worth doing, really getting. And it looked like the Tetris Effect one's going to be like that. Now, when he
Yeah.
showed like in the trailer the amount of games, I think there was like 9. I feel like there should be way more, but unless they're going to kind
Yes,
of
I
add
thought
more as
there
they
was
go on,
more, but then there was ones that I'd never. What was
there's
Tetris
hat
2
trick and stuff
plus
there. Yeah, there's a bunch.
Blisting or something? What was that?
I expected Tetris Attack and all that stuff to be on there,
I did.
and it's not.
They included Hatris, but if you know Hatris, it's nothing like Tetris. Which is random, but okay. I remember there's a multiplayer one, which one thing about that really made oh, that's cool, is when the theme of it changes between looking
Oh,
up the
the old
game.
ones and new ones, yeah. I thought that was cool, and that was
Yeah,
a new version of it on there. Because at first of all, yeah, I was just like, I don't want. Why would I want this? And by the end of it, I was like, yeah, I want a game with all the Tetris on there. That'd be a really,
yeah,
really good idea. And then he announced that the NES version of Tetris is going to be on the Switch Online as well. So it was like very
which
Tetris
made me
heavy.
go, oh, is it not on there already? All
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Also, and it's not on the collection you've just mentioned, which is a bit weird.
Yeah,
It's like, why isn't that on the collection? That was like a massive version of Tetris, you know? So I don't know if any of the Nintendo ones are on there, I guess. I don't know who made them all, but
I
don't remember
know
the Game Boy
they're all
version, isn't
different.
it?
A lot of them are different people. I think Tetris 2 on the Super Famicom at the time, I think was an exclusive. I think
Yeah.
in Japan or something. I could be wrong.
But isn't it mad?
Um,
Like, there's so much history to Tetris. I know I haven't watched the movie yet. I've been promising myself
do
I
you know
need
what
to
you
watch
got
the
to?
movie.
It's
I know. People have
brilliant.
been telling me it's loads of fun. I
Yeah.
know they say it's not historically accurate. Of course, they try to make a Tetris movie exciting.
Well,
So
it's yeah,
I don't want to see someone playing Tetris or coding Tetris for an hour and a half. I mean, you
yeah. That's
could
what
do,
it's
but
going
you
to
could
be.
probably
It's
YouTube
got to have some
documentary that.
excitement in it, but it's
Yeah,
got some.
I need to
One
watch
silly
that.
scene, but the rest of it's really, really good.
So the next bit of news was the Castlevania Dominus Collection.
Yeah, I got to say that.
I completely forgot about this one, like because I realised I've actually played one or two of these games. I was looking around, wait a minute, I've played these in the past and I forgot. I have no memory of like what goes on them, but I remember really liking them, and I remember being like, "This, I'm so overwhelmed compared to the original, like what the original
Yeah.
Castlevania is. There's a lot of stuff going on." But I remember thinking it's really cool. Like,
It's first of all, I saw the collection. And I went, oh, because I've got my 3DS with them games on it already, which is the DS ones. I
oh
thought, well, I want to play them at some point, and I thought well, I'm not that fussed about the collection because I got them already on my DS. But then at the end,
yes,
it goes a fourth game, and it's a reimagining of the
yeah,
arcade
arcade, yeah.
Castlevania game called Castle of
Oh,
something, isn't it?
haunted, isn't it Haunted
Haunted
Castle?
Castle.
Haunted Castle, yeah. So the
So
original version that was like, I mean, the artwork. I don't know. I'll show that to people on screen now. The artwork for that. Have you ever seen it?
yeah,
With the kind of costume Dracula over a woman like this. Oh, it's so weird. It's so like non
yeah, he's like,
Castlevania as we know now. It's so funny. But that game is supposed to be brutal in
yeah.
the arcades. So they've obviously made it a bit easier, I guess.
Well, I don't know if you can flip between the original art style and the new one because the
Yeah,
new
that's
one
it.
is a big overhaul and it looks gorgeous. And I literally want that one
They
game,
didn't
but you
need
can
to
only get
do
in
that
that
though.
collection.
They didn't need to do that. Was cool collection, but it's like you added the 3 games, which would have been enough for most
Yeah.
people on one collection. And then they would here's this as well. It's like, oh, that's so good. I don't know if there's gonna be a physical version though. I think we're just gonna
Oh,
get
there
unless
might be
games
because
have
I
drawn
did a
it from.
Castlevania collection through limited run.
Yeah.
They might do the same thing. One thing I didn't show in the trailer on the direct, but you can see it on the later trailer. When because it's a DS game, you've got your main screen and a smaller screen, which is maybe the bottom screen on the DS. There is features where you can make one bigger than the other or
Oh.
equal size, which they don't show that in the direct
Mm,
trailer, but they show it on there, and you can actually, and it works with all the touchscreen stuff as well when you're doing
uh-huh.
spells, things like
Oh,
that.
that's
So
cool.
yeah, that's really good.
So I wonder how they do that on the Switch version though. Like, how does that even work? We're not using another screen.
Well, that's the thing. You split your screen into two. You've
Yeah.
got your map on the right, your main game on the left. Or you can swap it round because the whole screen's touchscreen. You just touch that part of it
Oh,
where
touch
you
you instead.
expand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You should have. Yeah, they should have talked about that because that would have been interesting for people who had
They
you
didn't
played the
do
original.
that, but if you watch
No.
the trailer that got released after the presentation, it shows it a little bit more in depth.
Oh,
Worth
okay.
checking that one out, which I
So
didn't really.
I really want to get. It was like it's 17.99 at the moment in the UK,
Ah,
which I think is pretty good
that's
for
really
like
good
4 games.
because them
But
games are really expensive. If you want to
yeah,
buy the OG
yeah, I
ones.
just don't think I'll be going for the originals
No,
anyway, and I'm not going to wait for the limited run either. So I'll probably end up getting that. But I also didn't pick up the GB. It was the Game Boy Advance Castlevania collection that
yeah, with
the
Advanced Collection.
that's
Did
got
I?
like three,
Can't
four,
remember.
or
Or
four,
not.
maybe three or
Yeah,
4 games on that as well. Is that 4 games on that one? I think it might be 4 games as
think
well.
I think so. So many Castlevania games, isn't there?
So many. But it's like one of those ones where I remember thinking, "Oh, I should get this. I probably really enjoy these." And I was thinking, I don't want to spend this money and it just be a game I never play. And it's just unlocked on my Switch. The same with this.
Yeah.
Will I get to this? When will I actually get to play this? I
If you
want
play it on
to.
stream, maybe if you could
Exactly.
incorporate that, that'd probably be.
Well, I've still got like Castlevania 3 to play over Halloween probably, and then
Oh
I'll be like,
yeah.
I don't even know what to do after that because I've done Castlevania 4, the SNES one, so I don't know. I've never played Symphony of the Night, Rondo of Blood, all those ones.
Mm,
So I've got. Am I going to get to the point where I never play those games because there's so many of it? If I do everything in sequence, So I might just get
yeah.
it and play off stream and just have fun with it in a different way. But I kind of like the idea those games. I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind playing something like those. But yeah,
Yeah.
again, so also Suidican, I can never say Suidican. How do you say it?
I can't say it.
I watched the trailer and it says a completely different to why I say it, and I tried to repeat it, I couldn't do it.
No, I'm not even going to attempt it. I never. I know the title. I've seen the covers. I've never played them, but I do know of the games.
Quite expensive, aren't they? Well, the first one's really
Yeah.
expensive. So I remember when I was growing up, my brother was obsessed playing the first one on PlayStation.
Oh,
He used to
right.
love it. So I remember seeing it quite a bit. Like I've never really been into turn-based RPGs and things, but I've always got that kind of memory of like, oh, that was actually really cool, and the story's race. So
Yeah.
it was really cool that this is going to be a thing. Apparently, it was announced years ago. Apparently, and everyone was like, oh,
Oh, right. Okay, I
So
forgot
yeah,
about that one.
I thought it was new. Yeah, so I thought that's a cool like a new collection that's coming out of old
Mm.
games. Again, I love a lot of people complaining about remasters and things like that, but I think it's great to kind of bring games back out, especially if they kind of update it so it kind of works on mod
Well,
systems.
again, you've got one that's a bit shiny change on the graphics. Also, it's more accessible on a modern system because
Mm.
if you want to play that one, yes, you can go buy the retro console, which we do, but it's not always that easy to do it. And if you just want to get the game and play, maybe you've got big nostalgic, but you can't be bothered to buy a PlayStation, hook it up to a TV,
Yeah,
and you want
exactly.
to just buy it on system.
Exactly.
It's good. It's
I mean, especially when they're really expensive. There's a point when I'm like, I'm not going to buy that. I don't really collect for PlayStation and stuff like that. So it's like
mm,
this kind of makes more sense for me to pick up. Like the mana
yeah,
collections and all that.
that's
I'm
the
not going to
thing.
go after every game. So like those collections start. I like a good collection. I just
Yeah,
love a compilation or a collection. I just do. I also wrote down a few others, which I'll go over in a minute. But the last one of the Nintendo Direct I was quite excited about was the Worms Armageddon re-release because that
yeah.
was the last Worms game I ever played. Like it got really. I've seen other people play it, other Worms games since then, and it's just overwhelming to me the amount of stuff you can do. Well, Armageddon was totally right for me.
Mine was Worms World Party, which came out just after Armageddon.
And was that what? Do you remember what features that added after the Armageddon? Because Armageddon was pretty
Concrete
much the same as
Donkey,
yours.
was that in there? Super Sheep, that might have been in that.
Cheap as
I get
Armageddon.
I get
Yeah.
mixed up with both.
They kind of like each iteration just adds the same stuff from before, doesn't it? And
Yeah,
then adds a
yeah,
little bit on top, I guess. And I think World Party was very similar to Armageddon.
yeah. It
But
was. It was.
I watched a trailer that was again released after the direct, and the thing that got me with this is that there's some documentary parts in it as well, and interviews with people.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Of
Yeah,
the I think it might be a documentary, but interviews of people
mm,
during the making of the game when it was made, and I thought, okay, as soon as they add stuff like that to me, that wins me over
yeah.
because you get something extra. So I'm excited to see how much that's going to be, and what's the
Online
online
play
going to
and
be.
stuff would be quite nice
Yeah,
again.
I like it. I've got really good memories of playing Worms on again. But
Mm,
I'll just quickly go over the other stuff that was
yeah,
announced on the indie one. So Peter Tower, which I really love the idea of. That came out last year on Steam. I think maybe consoles and things like that. It's like a 90s kind of
yeah.
aesthetic to it. It looks like Ren and Stimpy, that kind of thing. And I love the look of it. I've had it on my Steam wish list for ages. So coming out on Switch, I was like, oh, I want to get a copy of that at some point.
And someone said it reminded them of Wario, and then I saw
Yeah.
bashing into things like, yes, it does.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know,
It's like Wario, but
yeah,
apparently it's really good. But it came out
yeah.
last year, and it's been
Stranger
on my
Things.
kind of wish list for ages. Yeah, so I'll end up picking up again. It's like around 20 quid on Steam. The Balatro, I can't even. Is it Balatro? That card game. I can never say the name Balatro. It doesn't sound
Oh,
right.
oh, yes, yeah.
Everyone on Twitch got obsessed with that game. It was everywhere. And the thing about that game, I think it'll be really good to play. But from the outside, I don't think for me it's good to watch because I don't understand it. I think you need someone
No,
like on the stream telling
same.
you how to play it all the time because it's one of those ones that apparently really easy to play. I think it was Andy in the chat was saying, just
Hmm.
Andy was saying like, oh, it's really fun, dead easy. But like every time I see it, I'm like, I don't know
You
what's
just
going on.
go, yeah, it just goes over your head. You just
Yeah,
go, what?
it's mad, isn't it? I wish there was a way, like, I don't know how they do it, but for a way so viewers get to know how the game works. You know what I mean? It's like when you watch a
Yeah,
Hearthstone player or something and you've never played the game.
yeah.
And you're like, what is going
Many
on?
characters and like,
What
who
is
do I
going on?
choose? What's going
Looks
on?
impressive, but like, there's no way a viewer for the first time is ever
Yeah,
going to get it. And I think there's like something missing there, some kind of maybe a plug-in or something that goes on top of Twitch or something that goes, explain how this game works for me. It would be good Chrome extension, wouldn't it? Explain how this
yeah,
game works. That could be quite good. So that's that one. There's all like different different add-ons and that, like Among Us is coming on there and The Witcher and things like that. Never, which is a new game from, is it? I'm going to pronounce this wrong. It's not Gris or the Grace.
Oh, I used to call it. I used to say Gris, but I don't know
Yeah,
if that's
I
correct.
don't
I
think it's
say Gris.
pronounced like that. Yeah, someone's told
Beautiful
me.
game.
Because I once to play that and someone said, "Don't play that. State's dead sad." Is it really sad?
Um,
Like, don't spoil it, but is it a sad
no,
game?
well, no, I never completed it. I got really far, but I stopped. It just has that vibes of
Yeah.
sadness to it.
Yeah,
And
it looks gorgeous though, and
but
like
it's
that's what
also,
compels me to want to play it. I was like,
oh
oh,
yeah,
yeah. So I'm compelled, and
very
I saw the
artsy.
trailer. Well, so showing this game off, it looks just as beautiful. It looks really
Yeah,
nice. It
yeah,
kind of looks. There's moments in it that I've got a crossover from like Spirited Away, but also inside, that
yeah.
game. that kind of crossover from them. It's like, this is beautiful and unique in a
You
game.
know,
Like,
by the end of that game, I don't know nothing about this new one, but as in other than trailer, but you know you're going to be bawling your eyes out at the end.
oh,
So, you know,
exactly. It
that's
feels like
the
that.
game,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's the problem.
Sea of Stars updates. I do want to play the original of that, to be honest, at some point.
One thing I loved about that, just I know I haven't played that game, but free DLC.
Yeah, I know. What?
Free? What?
Free DLC. I mean, that was the same thing with the Balatro, actually, or Balatro. Yeah, that was free.
Yeah.
All the
Oh, yeah,
DLC.
it was. Yeah.
Wow, free. Coffee Talk Tokyo. Apparently, the original one of those was amazing, but it's not my kind of thing.
Do you know what? I watched someone play it, and it's so relaxing, and it's hearing people's stories, and even though you're not really doing too much, it's one of those where if you want to play a game but you don't want any stress at all, and you're just taking it's like watching a slow
Power
burning
Wash
TV
Simulator.
series.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're describing Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like Shrek.
Oh God, yeah, that comes up.
Yeah, I played a bit of the Coffee Talk, and it's real. It's a very relaxing game.
I feel
very
like
Holly game.
I feel like Holly. Yeah, it's a good example. But I feel like sometimes I need to go out of my comfort zone a little bit when I have this kind of preconception of what a game's going to be like, and I go, you know what though? If I just tried it, I might be like, I just get the vibe. Sometimes I'm scared.
I think you would. I think you
get in the vibe from outside, but as soon as you get in it, you kind of experience the vibe and then enjoy the vibe. So the vibe a lot there. And then right next to that was Power Wash Simulator, whatever it was, Shrek, and you get to clean Shreks. I don't know. It's one of those games that, again, I was talking about this and saying, it's not really my thing. And then a bunch of people saying it's really comforting and it's lovely. And as a streamer, someone was saying that you could just play that and talk to people. It gives you something to do while you're talking. I get that.
It's a bit like Euro Truck Simulator, just driving the truck. But if you're talking while playing it, it's something
And they're really trying to get you in. Because remember, there was like the Back to the Future DLC for it. Okay, they're really trying. I was thinking, what could make me want to do it? Maybe if it was like a Labyrinth version of it where you're cleaning the castle or something. I don't know. Or doing what,
characters down.
Yeah, cleaning the characters down. Hoggles is bending out. Well, But there's a bit at the start of Labyrinth. Where Labyrinth, when he's it's killing all these fairies, and I'm thinking that'd be a good idea if I was going around killing the fairies with Hoggle or something. I could do that. But I did get the Walkabout mini golf DLC, which was like based in the Labyrinth world, and you go around playing golf in there. But again, there's a skill involved because you're playing golf. So it wasn't like as relaxing as
it's a satisfaction thing because there's a big thing. There's people on like Twitter, on TikTok who all they do is clean things with power washers in real life. And it's like huge.
Yeah, it is. It's something maybe I'm just scared to tap into that because I want to be active. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'll quickly go through the rest because we're going to run out of time. But Plucky Squire, which I really want, that comes out next month. How much do you think that's going to be? I'm hoping it's not that expensive, but it's probably is going to be.
I'm hoping 25 or something, but I'm looking at. I reckon
PS Plus. Apparently, you get it free if you're on PS Plus. Well, free you pay for that if you got a PlayStation. So I want it on Switch probably.
So Switch as well.
It might actually be on the. It might be physical, mightn't it? You can imagine that something like that.
I would rather like to wait for physical if possible.
I want to play that. Date everything, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. You get to date things, I get the joke, but I don't. It's not for me.
The funniest one we saw was Shelly Shelf.
Yeah. Because at first I thought you were going to actually date items like a toaster, but the items become people, which is whatever. Morsels, which was probably the best looking game for me. It was like a top-down indie game where it's weird. They gave this weird introduction, and I said, "Oh, you just got to fend off the cat."
Yes.
And I was like, "Oh, fend off the cat sounds really cute." And you see it, and it's the most grotesque looking indie game I've ever seen. These grotesque, massive cats, which don't even look like cats, and you're going around, and then you go, it's looks loads of charm, loads of weird, odd charisma, but like grotesque as well. It was
it's like Undertale kind of mixture with it as
definitely.
well.
I think I might have mentioned Undertale, but yeah, it's definitely got that kind of feel to it. Like something, I don't know. I love it, and I'm kind of like, that's the one I'm looking forward to. That's coming out next year.
Yeah.
Pico Park 2, they've never even heard of the first one, really, and then that second one looks hilarious. If you play
but it looks basic, but as a party game, it looks hilarious.
The party aspect of it looks great.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight was mentioned again, we know about that. Wobbly Life is coming on Switch, we know that. Peglin, which is like a new version of Peggle. I mean,
really want that.
I do want it. I just feel like my life will just die. Like,
Yeah.
if I did that, I played a lot of Peggle back in the day. It's just,
Yes, and I.
it's so satisfying, and it looks like that, but with RPG elements. By the looks
I
of it.
completed Peggle on an iPod Nano at work years and years ago. I
God,
completed it.
you can complete Peggle. Wow.
Yeah, apparently I did somehow.
And there's
But a
other
long time
stuff, and
ago.
there's like
That's good.
I'll skip the rest because like we've gone for loads, and I won't even look at the next one. But next bit of news, Croc, new version of Croc coming out. Are you excited about
I'm,
this? Then we've got to be quick on
I'm
this. By the way, we've got
super
20 minutes
excited
of
of
this
it.
podcast left. But what are you
Oh,
thinking?
blimey. I'll be quick. Basically, massive fan of Croc because quick history. Croc was actually meant to be a Yoshi game for Nintendo. Nintendo turned it down. The company went, okay, we've got to do something with this game, so they made their own character out of it. So technically, it's a Nintendo game.
Did not know that. The thing
Yeah,
that got me from watching the trailer before is that even though it says remaster, it looks like, I mean, it does say it's early footage or something at the end of the
yeah.
trailer, but there's like hardly any backgrounds, and I thought these you like
I
fill that
was
in at least.
hoping it was going to look like how they've done with Spyro.
Yeah, Spyro
You know
look
how?
gorgeous. The new ones, yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite that, but
No.
hopefully it's just early footage. But I mean,
Was it as popular as Spyro Croc back in the day?
no, it wasn't. But I loved
Mm.
it. I don't know why, but I
Oh.
loved it. It's got tank controls.
Oh, okay. Is the new version going to have tank controls?
It probably have an option turn them on and off.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
I mean, yeah. I looked at it. I was like, it's very early. You know.
I say, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But the last bit of news that someone just literally gave me before the start of the podcast was that there's a new Rugrats game coming out, and it looks brilliant. It's a 2D platformer, and it's like
Yes.
the way they're selling it. It's like a NES game because they've got like a NES style box, and you can go from like a modern kind of aesthetic to kind of 8-bit. And I think I play it in 8-bit. I love the style of it.
I would. Yeah.
And it's 2-player as well. You can play with 2 people. I don't know if the 8-bit one can go in 2-player because I don't think I saw that in the trailer. It might be there.
Know that.
Not sure. But yeah, it's like 2-player. You can be 2 of the babies doing all the things. I was like, first time I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, there's no bosses. And then I saw in the description, they said, oh, when there's boss fights. Because you want to have boss fights in that. You're a baby fighting a big, I don't know, a cat or something. Something big.
It'll be probably Raptar you'll go against. The doll, yeah. Angelica's doll, maybe a big version
Angelica's
of that.
going to be the boss at the end. She's going to be the boss.
Yeah.
It's going to be boss. Yeah. And I don't think the music was in it. I can't remember. But I was really excited for that one. And that's coming out not that far, but also was like, I think it's got a limited run release again. Limited run. I know. I love physical releases, but limited run is like it's.
I want to buy it in the shop. I don't want to wait 2 years to get it.
Limited run. Have an office in Europe. Make it cheaper. Yeah. Do that. Or someone over here put a special edition or something about. That'd be great. The people who did the Turtles one. I need to check out what they've done actually. Okay, let's get to the post box. We've got a bunch of questions to see how far we can get. Okay. Mike asks, does streaming games make you stop playing other games for fun in your leisure time as you think you're wasting potential content? I hate the word content. There you go.
Yeah. I got to answer straight away for that. I do with retro stuff. If I get a new game that's like maybe an expensive one, like I haven't for a while, but I bought an expensive one I bought months ago. But I thought, no, I want to save it for stream because I want to play it on stream because I know I focus more time on playing a game on stream than I would off stream.
Yeah,
but I do feel that whole. I don't want to play it now because I feel like I can play it on stream and enjoy it with other people.
Yeah.
So I do have that. I don't not like doing it, but it does come up. It has come up before.
Yeah, and also I don't want to run out of games. So it's like, if there's games I can potentially think, I'll play that on stream, I probably won't touch afterwards. But then earlier on, I was saying, there's Castlevania games that I probably will never get to on stream. I'm happy with like playing those off stream or whatever.
Yeah, it depends, doesn't it? Yeah, it's like more modern stuff. I'm happy to play off stream.
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
Some certain retro ones. If it's an indie retro one, it'd be up and down, but more likely off stream. But yeah, exactly. You know what to focus on.
Yeah. Next question from Casey. If you go back and start streaming all over, would you do something different?
The problem is, that's a hard question because you want to say yes because what you've learned now.
What do you think it means, like content-wise or as a streamer?
Oh, I thought as a streamer.
Go on, answer as a streamer. I want to know where you're going to go with that.
Like obviously, like knowing what you know, because I kind of like because I went in not the unknowing of really. The only thing tech wise, I use a laptop. It crashed all the time. It ran really bad, and that was a bad choice of doing that. But I didn't know it was all learning. But with like playing through the stuff on there, I did like the learning of it and just doing a bit each time. And the thing is, well, me, I'm still definitely learning all the time. But I don't think I would change anything up because I'm playing what I want to play on stream. I'm kind of doing what I wanted to do from the get go. I'm not going, oh, I'm going to aim towards this. I'm literally went, right, I've got all these games of collection. I want to play them on stream because I've got them in this room. I bought them from Car Boots and I've not touched them. This makes me want to play them. And and it kind of, and I wouldn't really change that because I wouldn't say, oh, I want to become I don't know what if I knew if I played Fortnite I would get like really popular with it. It wouldn't be a factor. I don't know because it's just
you wouldn't enjoy it probably.
I wouldn't enjoy it.
No.
Yeah.
My whole ethos with it is you just jump in and see where it takes you. So I wouldn't go back and tell myself anything different because that would go against this whole ethos of like keep trying things. Do you enjoy doing that? Keep doing that. Oh, that got me here. Do you enjoy doing that? Do that. And you can't really go back and have a plan because my plan's kind of ricocheting against each side of the wall until I get to where I am now. So there's no kind of easy pathway because I've been in so many different places. Like I started off with doing music and now I'm playing games. If I went back and said play games right from the start, I'd be like, what are you on about? Shut up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't listen. And then I'd probably end up like doing something else and then going a completely different path. So yeah. So it wouldn't really for me. Recon says, are there any discontinued serials that you really miss? Horny Nut Loops for me. I don't think they actually exist anymore, or they probably do in some other way. Maybe they do. I'm going to Google them. But also Honey Nut Clusters because they don't exist in the same way. Yeah. Oh, do you know what? A better way. Sugar Puffs. I know they exist, but they don't exist. They're not called Sugar Puffs now, are they? And they don't taste the same. They're like the Sugar Puffs are called Honey Monster Puffs.
Really? That sounds a bit more effort to say that one.
Yeah, Honey Monster Puffs. Yeah, so it's like yes. Let me just Google. Yeah,
I do remember
Honey Monster Sugar Puffs. I don't know. We've looked at it before. It's a weird name, and they don't taste the same. I think it's more a case of the fact that the cereals don't taste like the same anymore because they're trying to make them healthy.
That's it. It's like when I went to the US in like 2000, I got this cookie cereal. It looked like little miniature cookies. It was so nice. They brought it out over here, but it wasn't the same. They took out all the sugars. Yeah. It was like it was nice, and that was years ago. I don't know if that's still going over there, but that one I would love to have. It's not quite the same thing.
It's the same. The one we've got is like a dog or something on the front. Is it got a dog?
Yeah,
I think it's called. Yeah, I know what you were on about though. I've seen those before, and it's literally just cookies in a bottle. It's just like at that point, I'm like, it's just terrible. I saw like s'mores the other day. I don't say that. S'mores.
Oh yeah,
You get s'more cereal, which is just mini s'mores. You just put anything in a bowl and put milk in it, and it's cereal. And
basically.
Like twigs in there or earwigs or something. Like so, you've got earwig cereal or whatever. That's what it is. It's ridiculous.
Oh. With other old cereal, I can't remember because, to be honest, the ones I used to eat, I've still got now, but they're just not the same.
Not the same. That's it. The same. And they're making the odd new one. Mike says again, do you ever find real life plans clashing with your streams or people who aren't familiar with streaming, not understanding why you do it or why you can't change when you stream? So I suppose like you saying, I can't go out tonight. I can't go out that day because I'm streaming. And they're like, what? You doing what?
Well, I think we're both in the same situation where the times we stream is not unsociable sort of it, but where it's I do it in the evening, which everyone's in bed anyway, so it's not like someone's going to call me up. And also, I'm not losing time with Danielle because she's asleep by 8-9 o'clock.
Yeah,
so I'm not wasting watching time with Danielle.
And I'm streaming when Lindsay's in work and she comes home, and I'm finished streaming. So so not really, and I don't really have that many friends outside of streaming because out of choice, to be honest, because I want to do all of this. But most of the people I talk to are through streaming and for all the projects I'm involved with. So not really. No issues.
Yeah, I think at times it differed if we stream Saturdays and I know I stream Sundays, but then it's kind of we don't really do much Sundays anyway. But Saturday, that's why I don't stream on a Saturday because that's our going out day.
Yeah,
and stuff like that, or the movie night or whatever here, and that's it.
We're kind of lucky. We're lucky. I reckon that's probably an issue for people. Again, aside from the obvious answers, what are some of your favorite retro controllers? Do you like the Neo Geo Stick, the Pro Jaguar controller? Do you hate the N64 Trident? Give me a good controller discussion. Oh, I wish we could, because we've only got like 10 minutes. But
Oh, we've got a lot to talk about that one.
what's your favorite controller?
Favorite controller, I'd probably no, I don't know. What's yours?
I can only go ones I just love because of how iconic they are for me. And I say the NES one. It's not the best, but I love it. I love the look of it.
I love the feel of the A and B buttons on it.
But it's weird because I've been using the Famicom controller, which is, obviously this one.
Yeah.
I feel like this is way better. But it's a stupid place to put the cable.
Yeah.
But the buttons feel nice and the D-pad's way better. But I loved how iconic the NES controller is. I've got no problem with the N64 controller, by the way. Everyone has so many issues. I've never had any problem. I didn't know people had the problem until I joined Twitch and people were going, "Oh, the N64 controller."
For me, is if the analog stick had like a rubber surface, could be in plastic, and if it sounds a bit horrible, but when your thumb gets sweaty on a game, you do have to adjust your thumb quite a lot. It doesn't grip at all. Same with the Dreamcast controller. You've got no rubber on it, so that because it's a plastic, it kind of slips off it. I guess for the favorite controller, I'll probably say Mega Drive because the Mega Drive is a massive controller and it was comfortable as a kid and adult. Even though it's only I was about the 3-button one, but it just feels nice in the hand.
It still works well, yeah. With the other ones,
I would say that.
I would say with the N64, when I've gone back, it's hard now because it's not because of the controller is hard. It's because the control kind of mechanics have changed. With 2 analog sticks and things like that. And when you go back to playing GoldenEye now, I'm just dreadful at it. I can't control it.
Did you know that you can plug up 2 N64 controllers?
I never did it.
I tried it. It doesn't work very well. I tried. I thought it'd be like playing a dual analog.
It's one of those cool things to know, but it doesn't really work. Right. And the last question we've got is, if you could do a podcast with a celebrity, who would it be and what would you ask? Oh my God. Who would we have?
I would have. It'd be. I was
going to say Dominic Diamond. I feel like you're going to say that.
Yeah, I think it'd be Dominic Diamond. I think, to be honest, a joint one. Or
might get him on,
Violet Berlin, because she does a lot of indie stuff.
She'd be ace as well. I mean, anyone from those UK based gaming shows.
Yeah, because people probably expect me to say Jet. And I'm not going to say that because I wouldn't know what to say. I'm like, no. I liked you on Gladiators.
You don't want someone who's kind of irrelevant to our discussions as well. It's like having I don't know, Andy Peters on and be like, so Andy, what was your favourite gaming system? Oh, I didn't play any games.
Yeah, and that'd be then talking about.
All right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, do you like pot noodles, Andy? Do you know what I mean? And we'd no. Why haven't you brought your cereal? I don't eat cereal.
I never have breakfast, never have done.
We'll be here for 2 hours, just going, all right. Anyway, that was all the questions. If you've got a question for us and you want us to answer on the next podcast, please pop it down in the comments on this YouTube video. Apparently, you can also make comments on Spotify.
I've never done it, but there's an option for it.
But I will never see it, so...
I'll try and look. I'll try and look if I can work out where it is.
If you can work out what it is. But if you want the comment to definitely 100% be seen, please put it down in the YouTube video. I know this goes on Spotify as well. So I always try and make a kind of a conscious effort to kind of make sure we're okay for audio listeners. Hey, do you know what I want to say before we go? So I was looking at some stats earlier, and someone say on Reddit, that 90% of podcasts don't get past episode 3. That's 1.8 million podcasts who quit. This is our 3rd podcast. Pressure. So I'm hoping that one of us don't die, won't quit, something mad life thing happens or whatever. Because there's got to be a reason why after 3...
we have a disagreement on something.
I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you picked a Mega Drive controller or something really... I can't believe you had Frosties. Do you know what I mean? Not again. It's like, but that we've got to make it past 3. So then that means we will be we'll be in good stead. But also of the 200,000 left, 90% of podcasts will quit after 20 episodes. So we've got to make it to 21. If we can get past 3, we've got to make it to 21. I mean, 10 will be great.
I think we will, because just quick, because I a while ago on our we have a like where we discuss what we're going to talk about. I'll put a load of topics on we haven't even gone near
No.
because we've got other stuff we're dealing
We
with.
had
So
a plan. We had a plan of like we'll have this other section where we talk about this other things, special things every couple of weeks. We never have time to do that because we always talk about cereal, we talk about what we've been playing, we talk about the news, and then we do the post box bit, and then it's like looking down now we've got like a couple of minutes left. So it's like you know, maybe we'll do that for special podcasts. Maybe we need to fill one in for like for Christmas or whatever, you know, when we're going away for a week. And we go, let's film another one.
Yeah,
we'll do a special.
Cool, actually,
We'll use one of those topics or something. Although we'll probably want to talk about Christmas or Halloween or whatever we're going to do, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to this. This has been episode 3. We've done 3 episodes. We need to do one more, and then you know, we won't be that up of that 90%. So thanks for tuning in, and do leave a comment down below. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.